want power all of a fucking sudden.
Welcome, TMS family, to another edition of the Too Much Show. Today is Sunday, January 31st, 2021. Yes. We are about to be in our second month for the new year of 2021. So, here on the Too Much Show, it's always real talk by real people. And I am your host, MT, and with me is my co-host,
Mr. Jones, aka Sam Jones, and Mr. Come First because you gotta respect me. Fuck baseball and down below today.
It's your boy Tay, one half of Sports Talk Tay and Josh.
It's your boy Josh from Sports Talk and Josh Podcast. And thanks for having us, guys.
No problem, gentlemen. So, before we get into anything, breaking news, okay? Breaking news. And when we talk about our breaking news, we are talking about the trade that just happened. The Detroit Lions have dealt Matthew Stafford to the LA Rams for Jared Goff, 2 future first-round picks, a third-round pick, if I'm not mistaken, and there's one more pick in there, a 6th or a 7th, right? If I'm not
They
mistaken.
gave all that alphabet.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, everything and the kitchen sink for that.
LA,
Exactly.
LA,
This man, this nigga.
Hold on,
LA
Miss
did it
Jones.
again.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Mr. Jones. Tell us how you feel, because you seem to think that this is a bad trade. Go ahead.
It's bad grade A Kush. I'll tell you that much. For the Lions to give up all that shit for that dude.
Yep.
Come on.
You mean for the Rams to give up all of that? The Lions
Yeah,
received
the Rams give all that up for that dude. Like, I know Jared Goff was terrible and all that, but is Matthew Stafford really going to be the life changer of that franchise on offense?
I believe he can be. You're talking about a quarterback who was basically incompetent.
Oh, the ultimate stat pattern. He's the ultimate stat pattern.
Yeah.
He's like the LeBron James of the NFL in the fourth quarter.
Okay. That's true. But let me just say this. You have Jared Goff, somebody who literally the coach has to talk to him, tell him which checkdowns to make, which audibles to make up until the mic shuts off in his helmet. His decision making not being there. Yes, he has an arm, but his accuracy not being there when throwing the deep ball. Here you have somebody that's mobile in Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford has played with proven wide receivers. And at the end of the day, I just feel like that they needed a competent QB. So I'm actually not mad at LA Rams. What I'm going to say is I applaud their GM, because this is the third time that they've pretty much just gone all in, and they want to win now. They have the new stadium. The defense is there. And we all know that the LA Rams should have been in the NFC Championship game playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But again, when you don't have somebody who's competent, that is what happens when you don't have somebody who's competent at quarterback. And just so you all know, because I know some people.
3 years ago, he was the MVP candidate.
Who?
Golf. He's the MVP
He
candidate
was,
3
but
years.
at what extent? He was, and Sean McVay was doing all the work.
Todd Gurley helped him.
Was Matthew? He did. Was Matthew Stafford?
Thank you. Yeah.
Wasn't he an MVP candidate at one point?
Yes. Yeah, like I said, he gets a lot of yards every year. He can air it out when you're down by 21.
Yeah. When they got the second, third team in, he dropped 200 yards, 2 TDs on you.
I think it makes the team better, but I don't think it makes them Super Bowl contenders, if that makes sense.
I do.
I actually agree with Mr. Jones.
I'm on the fence with this.
Mark my words. I'm calling it right now. You could, and then I'll let Tay go. Mark my words right now. Next year's NFC Championship game, look for the LA Rams to be in there as long as Bootland and Aaron Donald are healthy. Plain and simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
NFC Championship.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say Super Bowl yet, but NFC Championship, yes.
So who they gonna play? Dak?
Nah, they gonna play TB again. TB 12.
So you writing off Dak already? Healthy Dak?
I'm not writing off a healthy Dak. I'm writing off the Cowboys franchise right now.
It's only January, baby.
I'm not gonna keep breaking my fucking heart year after year. But go ahead, Tay.
All right, my thoughts on this trade. I thought short term wise, the Rams won the short term. Long term,
hold on one second, Big Rush. You got to turn your radio. Getting feedback.
That's me.
Let me see. Nah, hold on.
Yeah,
we're
probably got muted up.
Yeah, we'll bring Big Russ back in a second. Yeah, it's all right. Go ahead, Tay.
All right. Yeah, my initial thoughts were the short term solution. The Rams won. Long term, Detroit won. Mm-hmm. The only problem I had with that, why do Detroit need Jared Goff? That was my thing, especially when you got like Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance.
I don't think it was a need.
Yeah, that's what
it was more of
I
like
think it was a
Matthew
need.
Stafford. We've been with us for 10+ years. They do shit. It's time to move on. That's all that was.
Yeah, I think they were more of a proven quarterback, somewhat a proven, than risk it on a draft pick.
But the picks, though, was it necessary?
I think so.
Did you need that to get Matt? I don't think so.
No, they gave up too much for Matt, in my opinion. They gave
too much for that nigga.
Too much for Matt.
Well, here's the thing: the Washington football team was going to give up more.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
that would have been stupid. That's Washington football team organization.
They was about to give up 3 first rounds.
Free agents.
Yep. Yeah, they was going to give up 3 future first rounders for him.
Oh, no, that's stupid. See, Rams can't have 11 because their team is pretty good. They don't necessarily, they can be okay without those draft picks. Washington football team still rebuilding. That'd be stupid on their part.
You gotta keep them draft
picks for Matt Stafford. My opinion, that would have been stupid on the Washington football team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and here's another thing too. Yeah, I mean, and here's another thing too that I want to tell people is we got to stop with this. Oh, Matthew Stafford is old. He's 32. First of all, Drew Brees was over 40. Tom Brady, the guy who's playing in the Super Bowl next Sunday, oh yeah, he's 43. So the mold right now has been shifted. Yes, back then, about 10, 15 years ago, yes, 32 would have been considered old, and you want to move on from a quarterback and start looking for a new one unless he's playing elite. But right now, with Matthew Stafford being 32 years old, he still has a good 5 to 7 years left. Y'all remember Brett Favre was just in an NFC championship game with the Minnesota Vikings at the age of 41. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, with that being said, Matthew Stafford, he's not old. The Rams, like I said, they're looking to win now. This is their best chance to win now. It was either him or Deshaun Watson.
The only thing about it is, can he stay healthy for a season? If he can stay healthy for at least 13 games out of the season, the Rams got a good shot. A good shot.
Well, I don't think injuries has been his issue that much. I mean, in the last 5 seasons, he's only had like 1 season-ending injury. Well, and then this season as well.
Win when it matters. He just can't do it when it matters.
I agree.
I mean, but look at what he had. When has Detroit ever done it when it matters, Mr.
He had fucking Megatron. He had fucking Megatron.
Okay.
He had a once-in-a-generation talent. They do shit with it.
And he had Dominic Sue when he was in his peak. Dominic Sue was killing it. I'm sorry,
that
bro.
Nigga was like
Matthew not that good, bro. He's slightly above average. He had an arm, but I don't think he's going to put the Rams over the hump.
Who better, him or Matt Ryan?
Let me ask y'all this. All right, hold on.
Matt Ryan, who's better?
Matthew Stafford over Matt Ryan? I think Matt Ryan is better. Matt Ryan. I'll go with Matt Ryan.
I don't know. It's tough. Honestly, I probably take. I don't know.
Stafford plays when he don't play good till they behind, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm with you. Stafford is not that good, bro. I'm sorry, bro. He's like
Ryan. Have y'all not seen him the past couple seasons? Have y'all not seen Matt Ryan the past couple seasons?
Matt Ryan is still putting up numbers.
Sir.
He actually did decent this year.
And so
Matt Stafford had a hell of a year when they didn't make the playoffs, bro. Even his bad year is better than Matthew Stafford's.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So, had 5,000 one time, though. He had 5,000 one time.
Can I just?
Anybody can have one good.
Can I throw something?
It's all about consistency.
Can I throw something out there, please? Yeah. Megatron retired in 2015. So basically, he's been 5 years without Megatron. He's had 4,200 plus passing yards 3 out of those 5 seasons. One of the other seasons, he got injured. So please tell me, what is the problem?
How many times make the playoffs?
It's called padding the stats, bro.
How many times make the playoffs?
The stats, bro.
Aaron Rodgers.
The same amount of time Matt Ryan did.
He passed
The same amount of time Matt Ryan has. That's how many times he's made the playoffs.
Since 2015, Matt Ryan was in the Super Bowl, brother, and was an MVP.
He been to the playoffs multiple times, bro.
Exactly. So he was in the playoffs twice.
Matt Ryan is better than Matthew Stafford, bro.
Yeah.
He's better than anybody who say that.
Even that close to me.
You too emotional. You throwing away logic just because you hate Matt Ryan at this point, bro.
I don't hate Matt Ryan. Actually, I was one of the advocates.
They hate Matt Ryan for some reason. He hates Matt Ryan.
Oh, got you.
Matt Ryan to have an
MVP. He respect Matt Ryan more than I do. That's why I hate that.
I don't know, bro.
You tell me. Oh no.
I'm more of a.
Just admit it. Just admit it. Matt Ryan is better than Matthew Stafford.
I mean, I would say yeah because he got a better cast. Let's not forget he got Julio Jones and he had like Muhammad Sanu when he was still kind of good. Like he still had talent around him.
He's not that good, bro. He passed the stats, bro. I'm telling y'all, he passed the stats, bro. He's notoriously not.
I mean, both of them had this.
That's all I'm understanding. With all this praise, I was like, I don't think he's that good. He's slightly above average. I'm not saying he's trash, but
I mean, but like, here's the thing though, and I know what y'all talked about. I mean, yeah, they're mid-tier. I'm not saying that he's top tier, but at the end of the day, is Matthew Stafford enough to get the Rams at least to an NFC Championship game? Yes.
No, he's not.
He's enough with that defense, with the number one defense in the league. It can happen.
I strongly disagree with you. I don't think he's enough to get over the hump.
With choking ass Aaron Rodgers and old ass Drew Brees, it can happen.
I don't know about that.
Think about it.
The Packers are pretty good. They're pretty good to beat the Rams.
Okay, so hold on. All right. So let me ask y'all this then: who are y'all contenders for next year in the NFC?
The Packers and the Bucks. It's gonna be the same teams.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the same teams next year in the NFC.
Yeah. I don't count New Orleans this next year.
And the Saints are gonna take a step back.
I've been said that.
The Saints gonna take a step back. Seattle is Seattle when they get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then guess what? You got the LA Rams still out there doing work. And then don't forget when San Fran, when they figure out what they want to do with the QB situation.
If the football team get Watson, they're going to be something.
I got him going to San Fran.
Watson?
Watson
and San Fran?
I got him going. And Jimmy G will be part of that trade. He will be a Houston Texan. Some way, somehow. This just shows.
Yeah. They already going to lose him and Watt. They ain't going to do all that.
Detroit ain't need Jared Goff, but they took him.
Because they have nothing to lose.
They had nothing to lose. They was trying to get rid of Stafford. And they got the picks. So you get a proven quarterback to replace Matthew Stafford with the picks. Detroit won that trade, bro. In my opinion, Detroit won the trade.
But all you need was
Detroit won it for the long term. I'm telling you right now, the short term, we could come back to this. Make sure y'all circle this day, January 30th.
Rams don't have a draft pick to what, like 2027? Rams don't have a draft pick to like 2027 now?
Yeah, because they gave up picks for Ramsey and they gave up picks for Brandon Cook. So yeah, they really don't have a lot of draft picks. But they have all the right pieces there, and they still signing free agents. Mark my words, gentlemen. NFC Championship game, your LA Rams will be taking on your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I agree. Wholeheartedly. I agree.
So you think Matthew Stafford is the game changer, Big Russ?
He's gonna get him over the hump.
Yeah, he is. He is because Jared Goff, he's not bad, but he can't get you over the hump, man. And going back to what y'all said earlier, Matt Stafford is better than Matt Ryan.
Nah, I strongly disagree with you on that. Strongly disagree with you on that.
Let's put context in it, like Josh was saying. That is the NFC South. That is the NFC South fan. He's a Bucks fan.
Strongly disagree.
I'm sorry. Like I've seen more upside with Matt Stafford than I have with Matt Ryan. Like Matt Ryan, he chokes in the Super Bowl.
I want you guys to watch a full Detroit Lions
game. He made it to a Super Bowl to choke.
I need y'all to watch a full Detroit Lions game. Matthew Stafford passed the stats, bro.
Yes, he does.
You look at the stat line. Oh, he went 20 for 30, 300 yards, and he didn't get that to the fourth quarter when he was down by 21.
Exactly.
Every time.
You need to look. That's why I said you need to watch a full Lions game. Matthew Stafford is okay. He's above average. He's tier 2.
He's a smart QB. He's one of the smart
I'm
ones
not
in the
saying he
league.
trash though.
No, he ain't.
And then if you want to talk about success between Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford, one could say that the Falcons have had way far better teams than the Lions have had.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
They have.
During his MVP,
Matt Ryan was an MVP, yes, because of his cast, not because of his play. It's because of
for
his
a couple of
cast.
years, bro. That's the only reason I'm giving a slight edge to Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan is cheeks for real. You take them receivers off. You take the receivers off of Atlanta, he'll be Andy Dalton.
Ever considered the best QB in the game?
I wouldn't go that far. Say
When was what Matt Stafford?
Nah, he was not in the
When was Matt Ryan?
in the game? Matt Ryan has that distinction.
Hold on. Matthew Stafford too. After he got that contract, when they slapped that big $100 million deal on him, they did regard him as a top
Matthew
5
Stafford was never
You talking about the
considered.
same way we shit on this show because that was way too much money?
No, Matthew Stafford was never in that talk. That's quarterback. Never ever. He was never ever in that conversation.
Yeah.
Everybody on his panel knows he was never in that conversation. He was never in that conversation. He's a tier 2 quarterback.
Obviously, me personally, I never had him in there, but the media did. I'm trying to.
They did. Nah, the media never had Matthew Stafford that high. I'm sorry, bro.
Certain ones did. Certain ones like
not that high.
Like
when was Matthew Stafford like top 3, top 5 conversation? When? If y'all tell me it's a long time ago.
2011, 12.
It's a long time ago, bro.
But I do recall
it is a long time ago, but you just said that it never happened.
No, I didn't say it never happened. I said it was a long time ago. It was never really.
Well, here's the thing: if it's a long time, okay.
So 1 year doesn't really count.
So here's the thing:
it's about consistency, bro.
Why doesn't it?
1 year, anybody can have a spectacular year. Anybody can have a spectacular year.
But what I'm saying is he's consistent with throwing over. But he's consistent with throwing over 1,000 yards each year, though. Just the same way with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is the same thing. Here's the thing: the same knock that you have on Matthew Stafford is the same knock that you're gonna have on Matt Ryan. The team gets down by 20 in the first quarter because they have no defense, and Matt Ryan makes stupid ass mistakes by throwing picks. And then by the third or fourth quarter, he's lighting it up for 250 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, just to get them in a respectable losing, margin, which is they go from being down 25 to 30 to being down 10 and then losing the game by 7 points because they kicked a late field goal or something like that. So that's all.
A lot of times the Falcons defense blow leads, bro. They don't make stops. They pretty much get stuck in the shootout. This happens all the time with the Falcons, bro.
Well, they blew like 4 this year.
Yeah, they defense been blowing the games, bro. You gotta watch a full Falcons game. I can tell y'all don't watch a full Lions game. Watch a full Lions game. I'm serious, a heart attack. Watch a full Lions game.
The Cowboys game was enough last year,
bro. He's not that good, bro.
Somehow, it's come back to the Cowboys.
Y'all gonna bring the Cowboys in the mix.
The Cowboys are blaming LeBron. That's our 2 things on this show.
All right, I'm waiting for him to blame LeBron, bro. You know
it's
what?
coming.
I know this football, but I want to put sprinkle LeBron somewhere in here.
It's coming.
That should be the new slogan. Blame LeBron. I blame LeBron.
Let's make that a hashtag. Make it go viral. Blame LeBron.
If we lose,
it's already been a hashtag.
We're gonna put MT as the poster child for blame LeBron.
If we lose the Super Bowl next year,
that's what you got to do. It's his fault anyway. It's his fault anyway.
I'm joking with you.
Yeah. All right, but look though, while we doing that, man, let's go ahead and talk about this NFC. Let's go ahead and talk about. We're gonna switch gears, and we are going to talk about the NFC Championship, my brothers. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Like I told a lot of you all before. Okay. Like I told you, I had to tell the people. Hold on, let me.
That's it.
NFC Championship game. Go ahead, gentlemen. So what do you make of Mr. Overrated Aaron and blowing another NFC Championship game? What do
You
you
gonna
all,
blame it
what
on
do you all
Aaron
make of
Rodgers?
that?
I don't think that was Aaron Rodgers.
Nah, that's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. You can't blame Aaron Rodgers'
Here
fault.
we go.
It
Here
was
we
the
go.
fair.
He getting the LeBron treatment.
No, bro.
He getting the
You
LeBron
are
treatment.
really damn
That's
man. You hate Aaron Rodgers. You hate LeBron. Damn man.
Okay.
But
Get
he
you,
got to
Okay,
get
so
this
let me
fact,
ask you
though.
this. Let me ask you.
Turnovers,
Hold
6
on,
points
hold
to
on.
show
No.
for
Hold
it.
on, hold on. Here's the thing. No, hold on. Let me just say this to them. So it's not on Aaron Rodgers. I'll let you throw it out there, Josh or Tay or whoever. Whose fault
We didn't
is
say
it? Just give
we're
me
not
a
gonna
person.
blame.
Give
So
me.
you gonna give 100% of the blame to Aaron Rodgers?
Not at all. Not at all. But I'm going to give him the brunt of it the same way that if Brady lost, it would have been, oh, he's too old, he needs to retire. And about 90% of that blame would have been on Tom Brady. So guess what? Aaron Rodgers going to get the same energy. He is.
But
You had 3 straight possessions, sir, where Tom Brady turned the ball over. They had 26 total yards of offense in the third quarter. And you telling me you were only able to
How many?
muster up 2 field goals? 2?
So you ain't gonna blame the
6
coaches for not
out of
going
3
for it on fourth? Who kicked the field goal, knowing he wasn't gonna get the ball back?
he was not gonna get the ball.
That
back.
was just stupid on coach side. That was
I mean,
beyond
look,
being
floor is the
conservative
problem, but guess
on
what?
that. On that.
Okay, but can I ask you something? Why weren't they able to punch the ball in those 3 straight possessions that they forced turnovers? That's all I want to know.
He did ask for this game, too.
What?
He said he wanted a home game in Lambeau.
Yeah.
He asked for it.
Yeah, he
I
asked
watched
for
him every Tuesday.
Mr.
I
Discount
watched him
double,
every Tuesday.
Mr. Discount double check. Yeah, Mr. Discount double check. He got what he wanted. Brought them boys all the way out of Florida, that beautiful 75-degree weather to the negative 10 weather, and they still got out there and heated up the field on y'all ass.
Okay.
On top of that,
So
Mike
what
Pence
percentage
is
would
another one to blame too.
what percentage would you get Aaron Rodgers?
About 70%.
I'm
He's the
leaning
quarterback.
to,
He's the guy who makes
I'm leaning towards 50 to 60%, and the rest is on the coaching staff. I'm just gonna put it on a coaching decision. But
Shit, the
I
defense
wouldn't go
will
as
get
high.
that.
I'm about to say defense get a little bit of that too.
The defense blew it too. The defense blew it too.
Defense did their job. They forced 3
No, they
straight
didn't.
turnovers. Well, I'm
Are
sorry.
you serious? Dude was getting
No, I'm sorry.
cooked.
You're right.
The DB that was getting cooked.
Kevin King was getting cooked.
Bro, he was getting cooked out there, bro. They should have been took him off the field.
You're right. You know what? I apologize. You know what? You're right. You know what?
Kevin Cook was looking like
You're right.
Jalen Mills
Mike
in the regular
Evans.
season.
I know. You know what? Y'all right.
Just
Y'all.
fixing that
Here's
dude.
what I do want to
Had
say.
him in the blender.
Hey, look, here's what I want to say. You're absolutely right, Josh. Thank you for checking me on that. They didn't force 3 turnovers. You know what happened? Mike Evans started point shaving. That's what he did. Okay, 2 of them went off.
Go ahead.
Two
Put
of
your
them
Tim
went
Foss
off of
Scully
his
off.
hand.
Put your Tim Foss Scully off. Little conspiracy theory. Go ahead.
Tell
Two
you,
of
the
them hit
spirit
off
of
of
Arnold
his
Ross
hand.
team, baby.
2 of them hit off of his hands, and then the third one, oh, he lost the ball in the air and couldn't find it. Honestly, I've never seen such a pathetic, pathetic series of plays from a wide receiver than what Mike Evans did on those 3 straight drives. Rush, you know I'm right, okay? Because me and you were messaging during this.
Drop passes
And
and
he
turn into picks,
literally was about to pull your dreads out. But this is the guy who y'all say is better than. Well, hold on. But this is the guy that y'all say is better than Amari Cooper, right? Oh, okay.
He is better than Amari Cooper. He is better than Amari Cooper.
He's not.
Man, take your Cowboy
not.
jersey off for 1 second and look at it objectively. Mike Evans is better than Amari Cooper, bro.
Yes, he is.
I'm sorry, I
He's not.
can't co-sign that. Amari Cooper is still a great wide receiver.
You said, I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said Amari Cooper is still a great wide receiver. Top 10.
Okay. And he's better than Mike Evans.
No, he's not. He's not. You keep telling yourself that you could be Doug Funny and write in your journal, but it's not true.
Amari Cooper isn't even
Shout
better
out
than
30
Keenan
years.
Yep.
Oh man.
Said Doug Funny though.
Sir, Amari Cooper, sir.
I strongly
he's that
disagree
guy.
with
He
you.
continues.
You have your opinion. Strongly disagree with you on that one.
Stop it. Please stop.
Yeah.
Get some help. Get some help. Talk to your strength. Tell them it's
Is this from a fellow Dallas fan? Nah.
Sir, I'm just trying to figure out how you going across the middle. You have the pass hit you right in your hands, and somehow it just bounces out. That's all I'm trying to figure out. How does that happen
T.O. was
twice?
famous for that.
And then
Odell used to do it too.
There's a couple of people that it happens, bro.
T.O. was famous for that shit.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He was famous for that shit. Oh my god, he was famous for that shit.
But again,
especially when he came to the NFC East, he definitely stopped doing that shit. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Do I have to bring up the 2 games he did? He did that shit against Dallas, and then I have to bring up the 2 games he did that shit against the Redskins. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He still had a 4 touchdown game, but that's another story.
Yeah. Tom Brady was almost had a perfect game for those picks.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I agree. 2-1 his fault. 201 his fault.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 wasn't Brady's fault. Like I said, it was on Mike Evans. Like I said, even the third one, when the ball got thrown up in the air, which was basically a jump ball because the blitz was coming, like I said, Mike Evans lost it in the air. You know what I'm saying? But again, we appreciate you, Mike Evans. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
That was a punt for third down. That's what that was. That one that got lost in the air. That was a third down punt, pretty much.
That's exactly what it was. But again, it got lost in the air. And, Mike Evans and the boys, they had to make sure they kept it close so the people continue watching because it was starting to go towards a blowout because Green Bay wasn't moving the ball at all. They was looking horrible.
And like I said, they was making number 20 look like a damn like a rookie safety or some shit. They just kept looking off.
The NFC Championship game, and all due respect to Packers Nation, that was the equivalent to Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. We kept him around long enough to make it interesting, and then we finally put the nail in the coffin on him.
Yeah. To be honest, if Brady didn't throw those picks, this might have been a blown out.
It would have been a blown out.
Throw those 3 picks. I think it probably would have been a blown out.
Well, if Mike Evans would have held on to the damn ball,
it would have been a blowout. It would have been a blowout, in my opinion. Those turnovers kept them in the game.
Of course it did. And like I said, it's for the ratings. You know what I mean? To see a blowout. They wanted to see a close game. They wanted to see, what some people call him. Oh, I forgot. Before he was the GOAT. And then once they realized that he couldn't measure up to what Tom Brady was doing, he became the greatest thrower of the football. That's what Aaron Rodgers is. He's the greatest thrower of the football. Look at the way he throws off balance. Look at the way he throws Hail Marys and all of that. Guess what? At the end of the day, I don't give a shit about none of that if you're not coming home with the hardware. Okay? If you're not coming home with a Super Bowl trophy, it does not matter.
So, question. Did this ruin Aaron Rodgers' legacy?
Yeah, it did.
Here's the thing.
Did he drop down?
Did it ruin his legacy? It didn't. No, and I'm gonna tell you why.
If he retired today, he's still first ballot. No.
Oh yeah, I mean
exactly. And here's the
first ballot.
Yeah, he's gonna be first ballot regardless. But here's the thing: the media has constantly lobbied for this man. Again, he's one of the ones. He gets the LeBron treatment. It's everybody else's fault, but his. It's Matt LaFleur's fault for not going for it. It's the defense's fault for getting him.
He was hated on a couple of years ago. They hated him a couple of years ago. They called him a piece of shit to his family.
Yeah.
Yes, they
did. They did. It was a media attack on Aaron.
I do remember that part.
It was.
They did.
Man, they brought out his little brother.
He just got the favor back this year by doing that Pat McAfee shit. People just started to realize his personality. They thought he's a piece of shit since 2004. A lot of people did.
They say he was a terrible
because his dry personality.
No.
And
hold on, no. It was 2004 because they was loving him. He won a championship after 2004. What are you talking about?
Well, 2009. Well, when he got drafted, like everybody thought he was a piece of shit for the longest, a bad teammate and all of that. He just turned that around this year.
Sir, I'm just gonna ask you this: what ESPN, what Fox Sports have you been watching? Because they fell in love with Aaron. When Aaron is, no, I'm just telling you, when he won the Super Bowl and then they turned around and went 15-1 the next year, they literally was crowning that man. Oh, he's better than Tom Brady. He's better than Tom. I can't do what Aaron does. And then when he lost to the Giants in that divisional round after being 15-1, Then all of a sudden they was like, oh, well, he'll get it back. It's not his fault. It was the defense fault that they couldn't stop Eli. The defense couldn't do this. The coaching staff. And then they got rid of McCarthy because he exposed McCarthy as having vanilla play calling and said that he wasn't that creative. And then everybody still took up for Aaron Rodgers. And then, yes, they did have a point in time where his family and all that did expose some things. I think that was around the time where he got hurt that year. And I think it was 2017, 2016, around that time. That's when everybody started to turn on him. But then the moment that the Packers started showing light again and they made it to a NFC championship game, everybody was back on the bandwagon. Oh, Aaron Rodgers did. He's just so great. He's the greatest of all time. I don't care how many rings Tom Brady got. Tom Brady cheated to get all of his rings, which is false, but that's another conversation for another day.
Nah, let's spend a few moments on that because I got something to say to them motherfuckers. Go ahead.
Me too. Well, go ahead.
Nah,
man.
take your time. This is your squad. Take your time, Big Russ.
Nah, you know what? And I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. The people that blame, now fuck that. The motherfuckers that blame Tom Brady for the cheating scandals. It's no different than it's the exact same as blaming Drew Brees for Bountygate. Like, how can you blame the quarterback for something that the coaching staff is doing?
I agree on
Like,
that.
I haven't heard anybody place any type of blame on Bill Belichick. It's always Brady. Brady's the cheater. Nobody ever calls Bill Belichick and his coaching staff out for it. They just let what's the guy what's the guy that left the coaching staff and went to go coach the Broncos?
Josh McDaniels.
Here I go. Exhibit A.
Yeah,
God.
foolish.
Really?
There you go. Jealous.
Okay,
Just jealous.
Hey, bro, I never got this whole cheater.
I never got it, dog.
I never got the whole
got
cheat.
it.
Tom Brady cheats. Hey,
I
never got it.
It was media
The play that those balls, kickers do the same shit. So how is that any different?
Here's the thing.
It's still
Here's the
fucking
thing.
22 pairs
I think
of
people are
hands.
Tom Brady
Touchdown.
fatigue. That's why they make up stories. They Tom Brady fatigue. He winning all the time.
Of
They
course
just
they
want
do.
somebody else.
No,
to win.
it's the
Exactly.
philosophy is people hate success. We are crabs in a barrel. It's success.
That's exactly what it
Agree.
is.
Agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
They
all
want
it is.
you to
When
be
you're too
successful, but
successful,
not
they
too
got to
successful.
question it.
They could have beat
Exactly. They want. I'm trying to figure out a man who's been to the Super Bowl now 10 times. How do you put a man who's been to the Super Bowl once? People always, well, Drew Brees
Uno.
is better than Tom Brady.
No,
Aaron
no,
Rodgers is
no,
better than Tom
no,
Brady. How?
No,
The man
no, houseway.
has been in the league for 21 years. He's been to the Super Bowl 10 of those 21 years. That means nearly 50% of the time you can count on him to make it to the Super Bowl. So you know how a lot of times when people say, oh, there's always next year, Brady is one of those ones who actually believes it. When he says, oh, there's always next year, it actually is next year for him. Okay?
Yep.
It's not just,
Yep.
No, that's real.
oh, like seriously. So it kills me. So, all right. So let me just break it down for everybody. First of all, Spygate. Spygate was all on Belichick. And where did Belichick learn Spygate from? If any of you all do your research, is who he was on the coaching staff with at the New York Giants. Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells used to do it before they, and here's the thing, it's still not illegal to film it, but it's the way that you film it. I forget, like it's like you have to stop the tape at a certain time. Like you can't keep it rolling to like learn the signals and all that, but like you can still film, but it's a way.
We do LT and there was a beef, but goddamn, right?
Exactly. So he learned that from Bill Parcells, but then Bill Belichick did it. Then Deflategate. First of all, they still to this day has not been proven.
The biggest piece of shit ever.
Hey, Deflategate was a big nothing.
It's a piece of shit.
I can't believe they actually made that. Nothing.
We all got hands.
Yeah. Hey yo, I don't care what nobody say.
Biggest.
They could have played with Nerf ball, weight paper towels, whatever object you can find. The coach
remember the vortex back in the day? They could have played with that,
bro.
And here's the funny thing about it. The second half, they ran the ball 95% of the time. They didn't even pass in the second half against the Colts. And they still beat the shit out of them.
Can I be honest with you? Deflategate should have been nothing more than an equipment fine.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been no suspension. It wasn't that serious, bro.
It shouldn't have. Nothing should have happened because kickers time so they can get the proper, I guess, or whatever on it. Kickers do it all the time.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
And here's another funny thing. And here's a funny thing too for the people that are at home watching. So if you're gonna call Brady a cheater because supposedly, you know, he was connected to deflated football, then you need to call Aaron Rodgers a cheater as well because he admits to overinflating footballs. And how is that a disadvantage? I'm sorry, if you're out there in 10-degree weather and a overinflated football is flying at you, that shit feels like bricks hitting your hand in 10-degree weather.
Your fingers do this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, every quarterback adjusts deflation.
Yeah,
it wasn't just Tom Brady, bro. That was the funny part about it. I think another team got caught doing it, and they just paid the fine. They didn't make it a big deal.
Detroit did it. Detroit for Matthew Stafford. They did it.
Honestly, the greatest that ever did it cheated. Jerry Rice fucking cheated.
I think Jacksonville did it too back in the day.
The Buccaneers did it.
Yeah, that good old Fred Biletnikoff. What they know
hold
about
on.
Jerry Rice did it.
Excuse me. I hate to say this, Big Russ, but the Buccaneers did it as well. Look it up, y'all. Y'all can Google it. Brad Johnson admitted paying a ball boy $7,500. Yep, Brad Johnson to deflate footballs. He paid him $7,500. It wasn't like in Brady's situation. I'm just going to ask you. He said, "I want you to do. I'm giving you $7,500 to deflate these motherfuckers."
But the thing is, it's not illegal.
I'm paying you.
It's not illegal, bro.
It's not.
At best, it should have been a equipment fine. At most, it should have just been a slight fine. At most.
They acting like niggas just walking into the locker room, just start stabbing footballs and shit.
They make it seem like.
And then
another, Chris, appreciate you.
Laugh and tap.
Then I heard the most retarded thing that made my IQ drop earlier this week. Somebody had the nerve to call the tuck rule game. Somebody had the nerve to try to reach in the sky and say, "Yo, remember tuck gate? What the hell is a tuck gate? The tuck."
Exactly.
People just grasp at shoulders.
I'm sorry. Guess what? For those of y'all that don't know, here's some history for you all. Actually, the tuck rule was put in place in 1999, the year that Tom Brady was drafted. Okay, so that rule was already in effect. Whether you saw it happening or not, that's a different story. I'll have to go back and look to see like when it actually happened. But the tuck rule was actually instituted in the NFL in 1999. So it had already existed. So they didn't just make it up for Brady that game. They did not.
Yeah, but you can't tell these haters nothing. You can't tell these haters nothing. They're getting desperate now. They just pulling stuff out the sky. Like they're getting desperate now. It's pathetic.
And here's the thing. And look, and here's the thing. But here's the funny thing that I tell them. I'm like, okay, so let's say you take away the first 3 Super Bowls because of so-called Spygate. And, you know, we all know that even the Deflategate year, he ended up losing in the Super Bowl. So let's say you take away all 3 of those plus the 2 Super Bowl appearances. You still have 3 more Super Bowl rings and 5 more Super Bowl appearances. You do. Am I right or am I wrong?
Correct. You're right. All right, so we all agree here, all 5 of us, that Brady is the unequivocal GOAT.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. He's already GOAT. First quarterback to with a team to host the same city as the Super Bowl. That's a great accomplishment right there, bro. And if he wins it, it's already over, bro.
Yeah.
It's no more up for debate. But people can still.
It was over 2012 to me.
It was.
After that whole Deflategate shit, he came back and dominated. It was over there for me.
Nah, the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl proved he was the GOAT.
Yes,
he came back.
That 28-3.
That proves he was
That's the same year. Ain't that the same year?
Yep.
No, man, they know.
No.
Like
that's a couple of years later.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Remember,
man. They said
he
lost to him as Joe Montana. The whole Peyton Manning thing, I ignored. If you think it's Peyton Manning, please come on here. I would love to catch another baddie. But no.
Hey, man, don't do that like last. I was watching that show. That was like watching first 48 hours. Like, you know, somebody.
Yeah, it is, man. Here's the thing. No, so yeah. So what happened was this: 2015 is when he got suspended for. Well, that's when the whole Deflategate came out. They lost to the Giants, And then in the 2016 year, he served a 4-game suspension and then just came back on a tear. Like literally, he was an MVP candidate, but they couldn't give it to him because he had missed 4 games and he was serving a 4-game suspension. That's the year that, your boy, Matt Ryan, won the MVP. And then he went up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. And then the rest was history.
Choked it up.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think in 12 games, he threw like 28 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yeah.
Crazy it was like 30 picks, yeah, in 12 games. The shit was crazy. Like they literally went 11-1 when he came back from his suspension.
Yeah. And the funny thing about the whole situation, guess who the one that had to give him the trophy?
Good deal.
The one that suspended him. They had to give him the trophy. He was at the podium and everything. He was like, yeah, ain't nothing I can do about it. Ain't nothing I can do about it.
Speaking of Goodell, can I ask y'all this a serious question? Just to switch topics real quick. So the whole situation about, the abuser or whatnot, did Goodell even make a statement about it yet?
Fuck no.
No.
Nope. Fuck him. Fuck him.
And the NFL have not even, the NFL as a whole has not said nothing about this shit yet. Everything has been bought out by players or people in the media. That's it.
They barely talked about that incident, bro, on news, sports media. Barely talked about it.
Roethlisberger shit all over again. It's like the Ben Roethlisberger shit all over again.
Or the Peyton Manning college
well, here's
incident.
the thing. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's the issue that we're gonna run into and why this is not getting the press that it deserves. It's three key components in this and why it's not getting the traction that it deserves. So first thing is this. Number one, he's a backup lineman. He's basically a nobody. We don't know who he is. I've never heard of this guy until his story came out. Number two, it's not on video. So because it's not on video, like the Kareem Hunt incident, like the Ray Rice incident and everything, the media can't blow it out of proportion like they wanted to.
But before the Ray Rice video dropped, they was talking about Ray Rice like every segment. The tape just made it worse. The tape we already knew what happened.
You're right.
They were made it super worse. Goodell hid that footage.
I was about to say that, Goodell did hide that footage. And remember, the media got a hold of it. Because remember, they were only going to fine Ray Rice or something like that.
They suspended one game.
It was going to be 2 games.
They suspended him 1 game. Okay, but 2 games. Thank you, gentlemen. They suspended him 2 games, and then I think they gave him a fine, and then he was going to be good to go. And then once the video dropped, that's when Goodell had to change shit up.
Yeah,
but then number 3,
let's just let him go.
Yeah, but give me a time.
And then let's.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say. Then the third component. It's all good. I was just going to say this. The third component was literally the fact that it's a black woman. Yeah. If this was Heather, if this was Molly, if this was Molly, Jennifer, anything like that, this shit would have been everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's not getting a lot of pull because he was like a backup lineman. He wasn't no star. If this was a star, I think it would have got more traction in the media. If he was a star lineman or a star quarterback, star running back or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. It was the fact that he's a nobody and the fact that she's a black woman. That's what those 2 components right there for me. And it pisses me off because it's like, I remember people calling Mike, wanted Michael Vick to get the death penalty for what he did. But it's like
exactly.
Those are the same people that don't say a word. That didn't say a word about this stuff happening. Not one post. One post.
Let's be real. Sometimes they the ones that organize the goddamn dog fighting, but yet not alone. You gonna say
exactly.
So can we have another conversation? It's
go ahead.
It's profitable to mess up the black man image, especially in sports athletes, somebody who have influence. It's actually marketable. Think about Michael Vick was profitable. You heard Michael Vick all over the
league. Yeah, he was the face of the league.
Ray Rice, you heard that everywhere. I'm trying to think of it's a past couple of scandals.
Well, Reuben Foster, another person.
Reuben Foster, yeah, he was.
Yeah, Reuben Foster. Somebody else. Are we forgetting somebody?
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. There's been a lot of scandals in the last 10 years.
And here's the sad part of Kareem Hunt situation was I literally had women who watched that video and was like, that's actually not that bad. Like I wouldn't even have pressed charges for that. Like that's nothing. You know what I mean? Like seriously,
Man, he like pushed her across the room for a trash can through the door. I'm not with you. I'm joking, bro.
No, I mean, like here's the thing. I think the push, like, all of them said it. All of them said that the push, yes, like the push was something that was difficult. But they said it. They was like the rest of it, like that little weak kick that he gave her at the end. They was like that was nothing.
It's because he lied.
Oh yeah, don't forget.
It's because he lied. That's why he really got in trouble. It's because he lied.
Nah, you pressed charges for embarrassment. That was some embarrassing shit.
And then
Kick the ass like that.
Yeah. Greg Hardy too, though. Greg Hardy was another one. He was another one. Remember?
Yeah. Greg Hardy dude. Look, I can't stop hitting people, so I'm just gonna go to UFC.
Yeah. Your man body slammed the body slammed this girl though on guns and put a gun to her head. Like, are you serious?
Was she pregnant at the time or something like that?
Here's the thing. First of all, y'all already know that is one of my biggest pet peeves. People who prey on the weak, who sit up there, who try to beat up on kids or women. You're not gonna do that in front of me. Plain and simple. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not gonna do that in front of me. We don't prey on the weak. Also, another thing that you're not going to do is try to come on every post that I make and then just say something gay or try to do anything like that. You're not going to do that either. That would cause me to come and see you as well. Okay. Now, just to get back to the whole Greg Hardy thing, at least Greg Hardy jumped out there and he went to UFC, and we could see that he could beat up on men too. But at the same time, he still gets no cool points from me. He doesn't. Anybody can pray on.
Yeah, it's some bullshit though.
Oh, is that
for the NFL
Look, man,
not even make a statement? Do they press? Do they PR?
No.
That's a fucking shame.
He's a nobody. That's why, and they get no media traction, so the NFL don't have to step in. I think that's the reason why. If we would have got more media traction, the NFL would have been forced to come out with a statement.
Yeah, but
I can understand the media not doing it too. They like, he already a nobody. Why give him attention?
And he also had a record of this back at USC.
Yeah, but
he did. But you know, they're going to blame it on one of his manic episodes. You know what I mean? It's mental health. That's his problem.
I'm probably gonna say he's bipolar or something like that. Something like that.
Man, seriously, I know Vietnam vet never hit a woman. That's bullshit.
Hold on.
Y'all notice this?
What'd you say, Ross?
Y'all notice this? He never had. I've never seen.
Hold on, we can't hear you.
Hold on, you breaking up a little. You breaking up a little.
Yeah, breaking up, bro. Yeah.
Good.
Try now. I think you can hear you now. It was like you was buzzing when you was talking.
Yeah.
Okay. So can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So do y'all notice they blame it on mental health in a manic episode when he beat up that woman? But have you ever seen him have a manic episode on the field when he's around other men that can fight back and probably whoop his ass?
No.
Exactly.
No. They don't happen.
Like I'm not buying the whole manic episode thing. I'm not buying that.
His lawyer told him that. His lawyer told him that.
They got to do that to settle the case.
His lawyer told him that.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna get charged?
I just want the same energy, man. I just want that same energy.
I think he'll get charged. Do I think he's convicted? No. I think he'll find a way to get to the
probation, community service type of.
Man, I don't even see that. You know what I see? I see it being thrown out in criminal court and then in civil suit, him settling out of court for like 1.2 million or undisclosed amount, and they give her some money and tell her to go on about her way and just stay away from it. That's it. That's all I see. Same thing with Greg Hardy. He settled his civil suit. Old girl went about her way. You know, he's paying his child support or whatever, take care of his child, and then that's it.
That's
I never
crazy.
Suit up in the NFL again, ever.
Mr. Fleming, stop. I don't have, Mr. Fleming, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have the mental capacity for you today, sir. I do not. Okay. We're going to have some fun today, but however, I don't have the mental capacity for some of this stuff today.
Show the world. Fuck that. Show the world.
What do you say?
It's okay.
Bada bing.
No, in one of the comments. Yeah, no press because he's a nobody.
Oh my
Because
god.
she's black.
Oh my god. This.
Oh my god.
You really said that? Okay, well,
Yeah, they said
Take two.
yeah.
well, that's a good hot take right there, man.
I just want the same energy.
Retarded take right there. That's what that is.
Yeah. But I just want the same
Yeah.
energy, man. I just want the same energy. That's all I want. I just want the same energy.
If he was a bigger star, he'd get more energy. That's what I'm thinking now.
But you're a player of the Shield. You're supposed to get that same energy because you're in the league.
He's a nobody. If he no
Yeah.
disrespect, if he walked in front of you, you wouldn't know who this guy was. You'd think this dude was just tall and big. You wouldn't even care. You'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna say, oh, he played
Yeah, I
for the
would
Seattle
know who he
Seahawks.
is.
Not say nobody ever.
Yeah.
I know.
And like I
Like an
said,
extra
with
move.
Ray Rice, yes, Ray Rice woman or his fiance was black and she did take him back and all that. But literally, the only reason why Ray Rice got the treatment that he did was because of video. If the video didn't happen, he would have started this little 2-game suspension and it's fine and been back out there running the football. So again, when it comes to the black woman, come on now, we just gonna call it what it is. They don't get their just due. Same way everybody is.
Hell no.
Nah, that Big Ben rape charge,
No,
they
it's
barely
hell
talked
no.
about that. I'm sorry, bro.
No, it wasn't.
They barely
they
talked
wasn't.
about that, bro.
Hell no.
They didn't talk about Big Ben rape charges, bro. That was like
They
skipped
did.
over in media.
Hey,
They never
ban,
Exactly.
ban it.
Michael
Ban that
Vick
shit.
more than they ever talk about.
Nah, bro. I
They
can't co-sign
can't get
that.
attention for like a month.
Hey,
Big
Bro,
Ben
they ain't
story
talking about
was
it for a
like
month. They talking about it for 24 hours. The next day they
Nah,
moved
it
on
was
to
only
next
some
week
back
and
in
NFL week.
for a couple of
Can we-
weeks.
Can we agree on? Can we ban that comment? Can we ban that shit?
Please, I agree.
Ban that shit. Ban that shit. Cause that was some bullshit right there.
They never talked about that. They still don't even talk about it to this day. Mention that allegation is like everybody get all quiet when you say it.
The nigga didn't even get a suspension.
Nope, didn't even get investigated, bro. NFL didn't even do no statement or nothing. They're like, oh well, I guess.
Bro, they drag Michael Vick more than they ever drag. They never drag Big Ben, but they drag Michael Vick. I don't want to hear that shit.
So you got dragged for dogs, but a dude allegedly raped a chick get a pass. Come on, make that make sense.
Big Ben did it twice. Ben did it twice. He said the rape was so good. I'm going back. I'm raping again.
He's serial with it.
Yeah, he's the serial raper. I'm sorry, a serial roofier. Okay, but look, man. Here's the thing. I don't even care. We go to the AFC Championship. Let's talk about Patty.
Yes,
Okay?
please. Yes.
As Josh was saying, yep, Post Mahomes. There you go, Josh. Thank you for that, sir. I appreciate you.
About to lose his composure.
Can I ask Tay and Josh? Here's the thing. A lot of our conversations and our messages are private, but can you all please tell me what I said after the Chiefs went down 9-0? Can you all tell me what I said in my message? Can you tell me? Please.
I'll let you go and tell that one, man. I just was dying laughing when I saw it. Yo, go ahead and tell it. I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell that one.
I told the people, I said, listen, this is literally it's a ploy. I don't know. Josh calls it a tinfoil hat. I don't know what I call it. But at the end of the day, when they went down, I said they'll come back and it's going to end up being a blowout, essentially, is what I said. And sure enough, here comes the Kansas City.
When you said that, I was like, well, if Bills Mafia win it, that would be a great story for the NFL. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah. And then what does Patty do in typical Patty fashion? I think he's done this from my personal count, and this is just from the little bit of research that I know. I think he's done this, 6 times in the past 2 seasons where he scored 21 points in a single quarter. Yeah. Okay. And it's usually the second or third quarter. So second quarter this game, what does he do?
Quarter, he's a serial killer this time.
Exactly. Second quarter, he comes out and scores 21 points. I'm literally sitting there like, here we go. Here we go.
I think anything less.
I did it. The shit was sad. No, the shit was sad at the end of the day. It is. And I just sat there and I said, poor Bills. I said, and here's the thing about the Bills. I knew it was going to. Yep. And here's what was so bad with what the Bills were doing. they would get down the field and then settle for field goals. That's not how you beat the Chiefs. You got to score touchdowns when they score touchdowns, because if you don't, you're never going to climb out of that hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the famous words of Matt Hasselbeck: "We go drive down the field, we go to score." Pretty much.
Man, they
Score. That's what you got to do.
But Pat Mahomes is known for doing this one down. For some reason, he know how to come back. He did it to the Texans. What, he did it to the Texans last year? Texans, that was terrible. Nah, that was terrible. Texans was up by what? Like, how many points were they up by? I can't remember.
21.
Like, 21?
21, yeah.
I was 24-0.
Yeah, and then
shit. Pat Mahomes is like, you know what? We got this. Pat Mahomes is like, we got this. Don't worry.
Offense and NFL.
Here's what I will say,
and I need though, it's crazy.
It is like Tyreek
It's
Hill.
like him playing with a bunch of gazelles and cheetahs. Like this shit is not even fair.
And then Travis Kelce, he's not even your prototypical tight end. I think he's just a slow number one wide receiver, a slow possession receiver.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver. Yeah, he's a wide receiver. Yeah. He plays slot most of the game. A lot of people don't even know that. He plays slot a lot of time.
He built like Jordan Reed. That's what he reminds me of. Like a bigger version of Jordan Reed.
So much potential. He has so much potential.
He did.
He shouldn't have been playing tight end. My opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he should have been wide receiver. Easy.
Yeah, but I'm good with Kelce being a tight end. It's a cheat code. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a cheat code.
I think Gronk can overcheat more. Gronk can do more.
Yeah, I know. Gronk be out there dropping the people's elbow on people. Hey, y'all remember that shit? Hey, that shit was crazy.
Wait till it's bad though. He gave it.
Yeah, bro.
That man with the Bret Hart arm off the top, bro.
Yeah.
He gave that Ultimate Warrior forearm. That's what
Oh man.
Lex Luger joint, man.
Lex. I mean, the Royal Rumble is tonight. The Royal Rumble is.
But like, here's the thing too, though, and one of the things that I will say why Patrick Mahomes is going to be around for a while, and I can honestly, if there's any quarterback that can threaten Brady's current record of 10 Super Bowl appearances, it'll probably be Patrick Mahomes because of how dynamic that offense is. But one of the things that I've seen him progress in over the years, and I kind of knocked him for, is his leadership on the sideline. Like I saw when they were down 9-0 and they panned the camera over. Remember when what's name had fumbled that punt turn and everything? He went right up to Hardman. Look, bro, he took the coat off of him. Look, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get this back. You know what I'm saying? He was over there rallying up the team talk. So like the fact that he's got the leadership piece now, he's the one who's probably going to threaten Brady for those 10 Super Bowl appearances.
You think so?
Yeah, he definitely can.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes is the closest person.
He's the closest.
He's the closest. I don't know if he's gonna get it, but he's the closest.
I don't think he's gonna get it. I think Brady
got 20 years to catch it.
So
golf.
He gonna be broken a long time.
He got 20
It's
years.
gonna be a long time for somebody to touch Brady shit.
I don't think he has the.
Can I be honest?
The way he plays.
Hold on, what you say? Hold on.
What you been saying?
Yeah, you sound like the subwoofer's going on.
The way he plays, I don't think it's gonna last for like 20-some years, man. I feel like the NFL, they're gonna catch up to Patrick Mahomes.
I agree.
The NFL is gonna catch up to him.
I mean,
that's normally what
but
happens.
He's just so dynamic.
Now that's normally what happens.
Yeah,
he catch up with you.
But he make more risks than Brady. Brady don't scramble out the pocket or none of that. Brady throws the ball away.
But
Brady gets rid of it early later in his career that lasts longer. Brady purposely played for longevity past few years.
Yeah. But the only thing I have against Pat Mahomes probably is if they can keep that team together long. Well, everybody's eventually gonna get old, egos gonna kick in, money gonna be a fact.
Oh yeah,
that team may not stay together that long.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill gone a couple of years.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't know.
That's gonna be the question mark. I would say
somebody gonna give that man $100-something million. He ain't gonna say no to that shit.
I was about to say that here's what. Yeah, I was about to say. Here's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to will they put their egos aside and say championships are more important? Because like with Brady, we've seen him do this time and time again with New England, where he will restructure his deal so he gets his money in a signing bonus, which won't affect the cap. So will Tyreek Hill, will Travis Kelce put that pride to the side and say, hey, this is about winning championships and not about my brand on social media?
Yeah, because Patrick locked
That's
up.
what's
He ain't
different.
going nowhere.
If they lose next
Yeah,
Sunday,
no, Patrick's not. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. So the fact that Brady said that he wants to play till he's 45, can I just give you all what I think is going to happen? So within, he's probably got 2 to 3 more seasons in him. I'm just going to tell you right now, if he has 3 more seasons, he has 2 more Super Bowl appearances within him. Tom Brady. He does. If it's 3 more seasons, if it's 2 more seasons, he's got 1 more Super Bowl appearance in him. I can see him finishing with 11 to 12 Super Bowl appearances.
He signed a 2-year contract.
What you say, Big Russ?
That shit never gonna be broken.
He signed a 2-year contract.
He signed a 2-year. I thought he signed a 3-year with you all.
That was 2.
2.
It was 2.
Oh, 2. Gotcha. Okay. Well, guess what? He's there this year. And I'm going to be honest with you, he's going to be there next year. So y'all might as well get
If they
ready.
do, if he win, he might leave. He might bounce it.
He's not going to leave. If they win, he's not going to leave. He wants to put. Here's the thing about Brady. Brady is one of those types where he can't sleep, knowing that there could be a threat to his legacy. That's why he's going to come back next year, because when it comes to regular season stats, Drew Brees still has him by passing yards by a few hundred. So if he comes back next year, he shatters that record. He shatters the passing touchdown record. He shatters the passing completion record, and then he can say, "I can pat on these playoff stats as well." So I got honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all right now,
the touchdown record. That's
that?
it. The rest of them ain't gonna be broken.
Nope.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I'm gonna tell you right now, the people may not like it, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, the man will be back in the Super Bowl next year. Wherever it's going to be, he will be there. It's just that simple.
Best prediction ever. We here, Mike. We here. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Listen. The man didn't do what he did for no reason. They set up that they got on him. Oh, he's washed. He's this, is that. The be out in the they might beat Washington, but there's no way they're gonna beat New Orleans. Oh, they beat New Orleans. Oh, it's no way they're gonna go to Lambeau in that frozen tundra. There's no way they frozen tundra and beat Aaron Rodgers. This is Aaron Rodgers' year, and I'm gonna call out Mr. Jones for this. I love you, my brother, but Mr.
His retirement tour, he fucked it up. He fucked it up.
Retirement tour. Guess what? Exactly.
And he is
Put
gonna
his ass
retire
in the dirt
this year. And he gonna
Put his ass
leave
in the
the
dirt.
Packer. He's gonna retire as a Packer this year. I called it. That nigga ain't coming back.
But the thing is,
I wasn't after that shit.
Brady is. Here's the thing.
He ain't coming back.
Yeah, the thing is with Brady is just this, y'all. Brady is on this mission where anybody who y'all tried to put up against his legacy, he's saying, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him. They're not going to be able to do nothing with me. And that's what happened. He went up against Drew Brees. He beat him. He went up against Aaron Rodgers. He beat him. Then next Sunday, he got Patrick Mahomes, who's the young GOAT. He's the young GOAT in the making. And I'm going to leave we're not going to talk about my prediction or anything like that. We'll save that for next week.
Him and Brady and LeBron are a lot alike in that regard. Like when they got to prove people wrong that doubt.
No.
Brady got a better Brady got a better resume than LeBron.
Yeah, he does.
Brady, he's not even up for the beat. That's not even up for the beat.
I'm just saying, mentally wise, like the mentality, like they don't like when people doubt them.
No mentality. Kobe. Okay, if anything, Brady is Kobe mentality wise.
Yeah, or Jordan.
Kobe, I would say Kobe and Jordan.
Yeah,
he's a combination of them two.
Yeah, Kobe is a combination of that.
The reason why I pulled out the LeBron comparison because LeBron did that shit too. LeBron did that shit too.
Russ.
You know this guy hate Russ. You know this guy hate LeBron. Please don't let him go into a LeBron hate rant. He about to go into LeBron.
I got to go Gail King.
Miguel
Russell.
knows I'm not a LeBron. I'm not LeBron hater.
Russ, don't give him that type of gas because you know he's gonna go with it. He's gonna blow up about LeBron. Don't do it.
We are not.
He gonna go on his hate rant.
We gotta. Yeah, no, we are going to put.
I got enough liquor this morning.
Yeah.
I don't know what LeBron did to this guy. Yeah. Maybe he didn't sign an autograph one time after a game. I don't know what's wrong. He hate LeBron, bro. I don't know.
It's not LeBron though. It's his fans. I get it. It's his fans.
Exactly. I don't hate LeBron as a player. It's the fans. The fans get on my nerves. And be careful because if you say LeBron too many times, then Darrell gonna pop up. And Lord, we don't need that smoke. Lord, we don't need that. We got enough from the other guy. We don't need that.
Mediocrity is okay. Mediocrity is okay. That's why I look at it. Mediocrity is okay. You could be great 90% of the way, but the 10% that matters is okay if you fail.
Yeah.
Participation trophy era. That's what this is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, if people lived like that back in the day, Dan Marino would be the greatest.
Yep.
Yep.
And Jim Kelly more praise.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I wouldn't call LeBron James mediocre. I would say he's still an all-time great player. He just resume. He got some.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's the only.
He does.
I think LeBron is going to go down.
No, he's not mediocre.
Basketball player to ever probably play. He's going to go down in that conversation.
He has the best career in NBA history already.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
He does.
His career is better than Jordan's already.
Well, hold on.
Whoa, I wouldn't know.
Whoa.
Nah, statistically, he is better than
career-wise.
Statistically, he is better than
what he's doing.
Oh.
Statistically, you can make an argument for statistically, but if you go on a resume accomplishment, you got to give it to Jordan. You got to give it to Jordan.
Yeah, number-wise, LeBron got it. Number-wise, yeah.
Because LeBron probably going to lead the all-time points probably by the time he retires.
Yeah, he's either going to be in the top 5.
How many people did consider the best player in the league their 18th year in the league?
Never.
When did that ever happen?
NBA players didn't last that long back in the day. Back in the NBA players didn't last that long. If you last 10 years back in the day, that was considered a long term.
A good career. Exactly. But here's the problem, though. The problem is that the media is still carrying this because he's not the player in the give him top 3. But we all know who's the best player in the league. And while we go ahead and make this transition, since we're going to talk about it, let's go ahead and talk about it. The best player in the league is playing in New York right now with the Brooklyn Nets.
KD.
Okay.
KD. You talking about KD?
Kevin Durant.
You can make an argument.
Absolutely.
But I give it slight edge. LeBron,
here's the thing.
He got the marketing behind him. He's more marketable. That's a slight edge I give LeBron.
Exactly.
LeBron's a Tiger Woods category.
Yeah, LeBron's the most marketable NBA player in the league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But here's the funny thing about it all, though, y'all. Y'all know what's crazy? Them boys. So here's what happened. When Kyrie came back, they lost 2 straight games. They lost back-to-back games to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And everybody, I told y'all it wasn't going to work. It's not in that. And then them boys been on an 8-game winning streak. They are now 8-2 in their last 10 games. Can somebody please tell me why didn't people think that this was going to work in Brooklyn?
I mean, it's early.
Too early to tell.
No.
We ain't in June yet.
Okay, but I'm just asking, why didn't people think that this was going to work?
Because people love drama. Nobody
loves drama, bro. The media was literally reaching with that Kyrie Irving. They was overanalyzing that joint, bro.
No, the Kyrie shit was dumb. I was more concerned with the Harden shit.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
The Kyrie shit is stupid.
From now on, James Harden is known as James Fat Suit Harden from here on out, man. Because your man was wearing a fat suit in Houston. Let's be real. Your man was wearing a fat suit in warm-ups and then played.
My only concern is they don't have the things to slow down the tempo in the playoffs when it comes to rebounding and stuff like that. That's the only thing. They sacrificed a lot of interior presence for the 3 they got. That's my only concern. That's why I think a team like
That's
Miami could probably go 6 or 7 with them.
Oh yeah, well I have no doubt that Miami could take them to 6 games, but all in all, it's going to be the Nets and the Lakers in the finals. It's what the people want to see, and it's what the NBA is going to make
should be.
happen.
Well,
It should be.
They
We was real confident about the Clippers last year. It should be.
but that's the team they
We
talking
don't know
about. That's going to take out the Lakers this year. Supposedly, the media got the Clippers coming back again. I don't know why, but
Bro,
yeah,
I mean, here's the
talking
thing.
about the Clippers, bro. Clippers been in the back room.
We have it, and here's another thing about the Clippers. What are the Clippers? 15-4, right?
yeah.
They're 15-4. So they're quietly, and I think. And here's the funny thing. I think this is what Kawhi likes. Like when it's too much pressure and everything and the media's on, that's when he tenses up and he gets shy. Like right now, they are just first and playing great basketball. And I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it's either going to be a Lakers Nets finals or a Clippers and Nets finals. But it will be the Nets. There's not a team in the East that's going to be able to stop.
Clippers ain't beat no Lakers. They see each other in conference finals maybe like they should have, but they ain't beat no Lakers. Clippers.
I don't see the Clippers beating the Lakers.
Nah.
I just don't see it.
Nah.
They probably won't even get a chance to play against them again. They probably gonna blow it.
Who the fuck will stop AD alone?
That's true.
About them. Not right now. Nope.
I think the Clippers was just too hyped, bro. They was hyping off, you know what I mean? Kawhi Leonard coming off that win, that championship.
They was hyped when they got Kawhi.
Wonder how Phoenix doing this year. That's my sleeper team this year.
I think they're number 4. I think they're
Phoenix actually balling this year. They needed
that's my sleeper team this year. I called them beginning of the season. I called the Heat last year. I like Phoenix.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Can I just think Devin Booker's a superstar, man?
He's just on a bad team.
He's just on the
He's probably never gonna win the championship unless he leaves.
Yeah. Or they somehow, some way get fucking Giannis over there. On some Amari type shit. But I don't see that happening.
Can we please get Bradley Beal the fuck out of DC? Can we please
free
get him
Bill, man? Free Bill, free the real.
Can we get him out of DC? Can we get him out of here? Please.
Nah, he's saying, bro, they ain't letting him go, bro. That's the only asset they got.
Oh my god.
Literally the only asset they got to leverage.
Yeah.
Somebody got paid.
Honestly, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. Russell Westbrook, he's
man,
done.
we got
he's a dog. I like it.
Yeah,
he's a dog. I like him, but
sometimes dogs don't run with packs, though, bro.
Exactly, that's the problem. That's why I say he's done.
You think he done it in the league, or you think?
I thought that trade was dumb to begin with.
They did not
about that.
I told you when we had discussed. I said I don't think that was a good trade. In my book,
No.
Houston won that trade. I say Houston won.
Yeah, because they took that contract and Russell was older. Yeah. And he's not a proven winner.
Big Russ will bring you back on shortly.
And then I didn't know we was gonna get the Allen Iverson from Memphis in that trade. Man, Russ is, oh my God, he's showing his true colors.
You think his career gonna end like AI at the end of his career?
Hell yeah.
Of course it will.
Yeah, it's going. That was my prediction.
Yeah.
If you don't,
at this point,
thank God it ain't happened to Melo. He got a last act. Thank goodness.
Yeah. At this point, Russell Westbrook should be a bench player right now. He should be coming off the bench right now.
You think he that bad? The bench player?
For that suck. Do you see the Wizards lined up?
No. I'm talking about not the Wizards. Not the Wizards. Not the Wizards.
I think he's saying on the championship caliber team.
I know teams that Barry Fobbs that have beat him by 20. That's real talk. That ain't funny. I'm serious. There's teams that can beat the Wizards by 20 right now. That's it. Barry Fobbs.
I don't know about that. That's a little reach right there.
Shit.
Nah, bro. You can't beat a professional team, bro.
Give me Brad Chase. Give me Lonnie. Give me G. Jones. We beating them.
Hey, don't make this argument. We had this argument with so many people who say stuff like that. I said a pro team, the worst pro team will beat the crap out of.
You act like they got pros and legends from their day.
Bro, you want nah, bro. You can't be a professional team, bro. You know this is. Those
teams because they play in the summer league like they can't hoop.
Nah, I didn't say that. When you playing against a pro team is different, bro.
Good. I see pros cracking the gates. I'm just saying.
Bro.
I see pros get cooked at the gates.
I had this argument with somebody who tried.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it. We have seen it.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
You know what I'm saying?
sometimes being a pro is just having the opportunity or being in the right position.
But just making
you
it,
remember the NBA
you
is
know,
AAU.
you do know, just making the league, you at the top 1% of basketball players in the world. Just by making the league. Just by making the league. You could be a bench player.
Yeah.
And I forgot you less than what? 10% if you're an all-star in the league.
Yeah, just don't be Denzel Valentine. You'll be okay.
But it's just like any other game that's
But
oversaturated,
anybody
like
can
the
get
rap game or anything else.
Street ball
Just
game.
because you made it doesn't mean you're the best at it ever.
Oh no,
Or
I'm
you're
not
the best
saying that.
right now.
I'm not saying that at all.
Some people
But
don't
I'm
get
talking
the
about
opportunity.
playing on a professional team, like pretty much a regulated game is different from playing like street ball. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell everyone that.
Well, the top leagues in street ball plays under professional rules, though.
Yeah.
But it's different when
The
you're
only
playing on
difference might be a lot of them don't play illegal defense. They play man to man. But other than that, it's all pro.
Mm-hmm.
It's all professional refs and everything. Places like the Herbo did it forever.
Yeah. But I seen people play against like say for example, I saw somebody who was like in a semi-pro basketball league. And they played against like, let's just say a G League team. They got washed. Washed.
Yeah.
Like washed. Like these guys who can't make the league. Like that's what I'm saying. It's levels to like the basketball. That's what I'm trying to say in the sports world. It's levels to it. Remember we had the argument it was a guy who said I forgot. It was like the Duke basketball team with Zion and everybody. Like they can beat like who was the worst team in the NBA at the time? I can't remember who was the worst team that year. Like Sacramento.
Yeah,
I'm just naming somebody.
I think it was Minnesota.
Yeah, it was disrespectful.
And somebody said they beat him. I said no.
Team didn't even win.
Duke had problems going against the best league.
Exactly. Ain't no damn Duke by 30. Please stop. Thank you. Mr. Fleming is talking sense. No non-pros are beating pros.
I know non-pros are beating pros on a
exactly.
Whoop Duke. Zion been in foul trouble.
Exactly.
Nah, bro. Yeah. I'm telling everybody like probably the best G League team probably can beat Duke at the time. The best G League.
Yes.
The best G League team. You don't understand the
difference. Yeah.
Bro, these dudes are getting paid for a living to get buckets.
I've been saying that for the longest, bro.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's the difference. They get paid to make buckets.
I tell you this though. I think basketball, like a college team, have a better chance than football. I give you that.
Oh, football is no chance.
Yeah, it is no chance.
No chance of.
Yeah.
We had that argument too.
Like them Alabama teams or the Clemson teams, they would get washed.
They would get washed.
By the worst
by the worst pro team
before. They did lose to Chris Webber in them, even though they say they was, they did lose. It did happen.
What?
And then they came back and beat them by 50, but that's another story.
They was playing with them, bro. They said they weren't playing for real. I remember that story. They said the story. They said Dream Team beat them by like 50.
Yeah.
They guys couldn't get past half court playing against them.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you playing against professionals, bro. This is different between playing like the YMCA. Yeah. You can ball out in the YMCA.
God's in the locker room.
Because then they said like Alabama could beat like Cleveland when Cleveland was like the worst team.
No, it was Alabama could beat Bengals. Remember the Bengals? I said the Bengals were washed.
Yeah, the Bengals. Yeah.
AJ Green
by 30. At least by 30.
AJ Green had like 5.
I was like, who's going to check AJ Green from Alabama? Stop it.
Exactly. You got to stop that shit.
You could triple that bad here and kill.
Oh, man. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, stop it. Stop. Joe Mixon. I was like, Joe Mixon. Come on,
and
bro.
they have a decent tight end.
Yeah. Tyler Eifert was still on the team.
Yeah, Tyler Eifert.
Yeah.
Alabama offensive line is going against a pro level D line. Come on, son. They get killed up front. They get killed up front. It's not even.
People say anything. It's the reason why they don't do college all-stars versus NFL all-stars anymore. They used to do that back in the day.
Exactly.
There's a reason why they don't do that anymore. They used to let the college kids play the NFL stars.
Some of the great college teams probably couldn't even beat like the third stringers, the second and third stringers. They had problems against them.
Well,
Like people who can't even start on the team.
That's true.
Yeah. But here's the thing, man. We about to go ahead and we about to switch gears, man. Tay and Josh, we appreciate you all for being on.
All right.
We about to talk
Thanks for
about
having me.
boxing. Absolutely, man. We're gonna bring Big Russ back on there because Fox Sports did something stupid a couple weeks ago and released a top 10 all-time list for boxing. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm pissed off.
Yeah, at number 2. Fuck that.
Okay.
And number 2?
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
it.
at number 2.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what I'm
it's 7
saying.
weight classes.
That's what I'm saying,
I
Josh.
gave
Number 2?
4,000
That's
to
a
do
little
weight
high for
class.
Yeah.
Pacquiao. I'm not disrespecting Pacquiao. Number 2 though? That's a little too high.
Fuck out of here.
That's what I mean. Gentlemen, weigh in. Tell me how you feel about our list, and we'll go from there.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
All right, peace and eggies. Check out Sports Talk Tay and Josh, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
I'll just say, go ahead.
And we just dropped a YouTube video doing the One Division episode 4
Yeah.
review on YouTube. Take care. Thanks for having us, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yes, always. And don't watch that Denzel movie. That shit trash. But all right, Big Russ. Guy that can lift 7 trucks.
Hold on. And who else do we have? Lovely lady. Where you at? You in the locker room?
What?
You at? You in the hockey?
Hey, what's
the
up?
locker room?
I know, right?
Easy.
I know, right? Shit, guys, I just needed to get away from my kids. What are you talking about?
I understand. Well,
Morning, y'all.
Morning.
good morning. So, Big Russ, go ahead, man. Give me your top 10 boxes of all time, my good sir.
All right, I'm gonna start with number 10, and I'm gonna run down like their resumes since you like to wonder who these guys have beaten and fought, Big Mike. So
I like it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start with number 10. I'm gonna go with Sugar Shane Mosley. 49 wins,
Okay.
41 knockouts. He done beat Mayorga twice, Margarito, Fernando Vargas twice, and Oscar De La Hoya twice. Beat them guys in their prime, and arguably the best punches in that weight class, in that division at the time. I'll go with number 9, Canelo. Moving.
Hold on. I thought you had something in your throat. Big Russ, can you say that again? Who you say?
On time?
Go ahead. Say it again, Big Russ. I thought you had something in your throat. Say it again. Okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Clear it.
Exactly.
Number 8, Ocho. Let's go with Larry Holmes. 69 wins, 44 knockouts, 20 title defenses. 20 title defenses. Beat the likes of Ken Norton. He beat Ernie Shavers twice, and Ernie Shavers was one of the hardest punches in heavyweight history.
I shook his hand. It's still
got hands like cinder blocks.
He's like 70. He can still crush an apple with his hands. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd have shot his big ass. But anyway,
beat future heavyweight champion Trevor Berbick twice. Beat Oliver McCall. McCall was the guy. Y'all remember McCall, the guy who beat Lennox Lewis but cried in the ring during the rematch.
I remember him. 95.
And he beat Jerry Cooney, which was arguably one of the best punches at heavyweight during that time too. So let's go with.
I'm glad you ain't say Ali. Thank God.
Number 7, we got Marvin Hagler. 62 wins, 52 knockouts. Beat Hearn, beat Duran. And I feel like, in my opinion, the Sugar Ray Leonard fight should have been a draw. My opinion. That's just me.
Okay. That's fine.
Number 6. Great transition, by the way. Number 6, we got Ray Leonard. 36 wins, 25 KOs. Beat Duran twice. Changing of the guard when he beat Wilfred Benitez. Beat Hearns. Beat Hagler. He had a bad loss in 91 against Terry Norris, but that was an old guy versus a young up-and-comer right there. And that his last fight against Hector Camacho was pretty sad. But Sugar Ray Leonard didn't diminish his legacy. still go down as one of the greats. Now let's get into that top 5. Coming in at number 5, Joe Louis.
Yes, I agree.
69 wins, 52 knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Joe Walcott twice.
Jersey Joe.
Beat Max Schmeling, and also lost him. And another reason why I put him in my top 5 because he knocked out a whole bunch of Nazis, and you can't. You gotta give us props for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gave them hands in the 30s and 40s, and he did it in an era where racism was alive, and you could be killed if you beat the brakes off of one of their golden gooses. So
definitely
makes the top 5. Number 4. Here's where we'll have a lot. We may have some people who, ain't nobody gonna disagree with this. I doubt it, and if they do, then your boxing knowledge is kind of shaky if you disagree with this one. Number 4, Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker.
Yes.
40 and 4.
Yes.
And the reason why I put
I can't be mad at
that. Hannibal Tunde. That's it.
Pernell Whitaker is arguably he was Floyd Mayweather before Floyd Mayweather. Impeccable defense, fast man.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, he's the first guy, second guy, in my opinion, to beat Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yes.
That draw was BS. First guy, in my opinion, to beat Chavez was Mildred Taylor, but that's another story. Them defensive skills, you can't. It's unmatched. He lost later in his career against Felix Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya, but
hold on. I'm sorry, Big Russ. Hold on. I'm sorry. I apologize, Big Russ. Please, you can blame this on me. Ain't nothing insane about it, Mr. Fleming. He's speaking facts. Now go ahead, Big Russ. Tired of this foolishness. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Go ahead, Big Russ. Continue with your list.
Show a rebuttal.
My head. I don't have my head. Anyway, number 3, Ray Robinson, 175 and 19 with 109 knockouts.
Man, 18 of them losses was due to racism.
Exactly.
Yep.
109 knockouts. Woo.
That's the only way he could win back then.
Plus, he beat Jake LaMotta twice. Well, beat Jake LaMotta twice, 2 out of 3 times. And y'all know how it was fighting.
I thought they were fighting
back then. Jake LaMotta, you going up against the mob right there. So,
Exactly.
And then we got number 2. Oh, your man gonna hate this. Mr. Fleming is gonna hate this.
I'll talk about it.
Cassius,
man, in my top 10 either, bro.
Float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Bars right there. Here's the reason why.
Oh, look at that. Someone's already. Let's see.
Your man, I'm about to take your man to school real quick, okay? 56 and 5. Beat the likes. This is an era where it was murderers row in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Probably the scariest heavyweight of all time during the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Joe Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
Norton, who ended up breaking Muhammad Ali's jaw. Muhammad Ali whooped his ass after that.
Yeah.
Beat Floyd Patterson, who
he had his own era.
He had his own era too. Beat Sonny Liston. Not too many people know too much about Sonny Liston, but Sonny Liston had his also. He
was dangerous.
And I'm not even going to run down the list of future world champions he stepped in the ring with. Not even going to run down that. Your Larry Holmes, your Michael Spinks, Jerry Cooney. Like, if people don't put Muhammad Ali in their top 5, then something is wrong with them. And they just
and when it comes to fame, he will always be the most famous celebrity ever.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and exactly.
And he forgot about Tony Onoki. Gotta throw some wrestling in there.
Greatest boxer of all time. And if you disagree with this, you really need to go watch some. You really need to go watch some tape. Go watch some film. Floyd Money Mayweather.
I can't be mad at that.
50 and 0. 50 and 0. Beat the likes of your Shane Mosley's, The golden boy right now of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, beat Manny Pacquiao. Anybody you threw in front of him, the top guys in the weight class at those times, Floyd Mayweather took them out, dispatched of them. Floyd Mayweather probably only been hit maybe 2 times in his entire career, and most of them came in maybe one fight, and that was probably against the weird, awkward style of Marcos Maidana. But
now
Floyd Mayweather, 50-0. You can count on one hand how many times he's actually been touched. Can't remember him being hurt outside of that one punch by Shane Mosley.
That's it.
People may not like Floyd Mayweather, the person, but we talking boxing here. We ain't talking about a popularity contest.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Floyd Mayweather is he has the skill. Obviously, he has the skill to back up his cocky ass attitude and showing that he is the best. He has that skill, whereas other guys don't. So I agree with you on that one.
I mean, he is his own man, and the impact he had on boxing will be everlasting. It's second to Ali, but it's very close second to Ali. The impact he made on the sport.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Floyd Mayweather.
Oh yeah,
and then
Floyd.
On top of that, it's been so many carbon copies of Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people tried to imitate him but couldn't do it. You got your Adrian Broner, who I think is very talented, but he's not Floyd. You go to the UFC.
Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford's another one.
But in terms of personality wise and how to market a fight, he set the standard, and a lot of people carbon copy. We just seen one of his carbon copies get knocked out last weekend in Conor McGregor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the impact Floyd Mayweather has had on boxing, you can't take that away from him. You can't take away his in-ring ability. You can't take anything away from him. A lot of people like to say he cherry-picked his fights. No, you go through his resume. He fought the top guys at that time.
Yep.
He dispatched them.
Yep.
Dispatched them.
Yep.
And it was too easy. So, you know, Floyd Money Mayweather, greatest boxer of all time, number one.
Of course. All right, Mr. Jones, is it okay? You want me to do mine? Because I know you have. Okay, I appreciate you.
I dug in crates. I dug in some crates. So.
I know you did. All right, so first of all, number 10, me and Russ actually agree. It is Sugar Shane Mosley. For all the reasons that he has said. Sugar Shane Mosley, also, man, when you want to talk about one of the hardest punches in that division, I mean, my God, you get caught with that left hook from Sugar Shane Mosley, your ass is going to the floor. You're going to the floor. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Number 9, this may shock some people, but I actually have Vladimir Klitschko. I appreciate his resume, the back and forth that he had with Anthony Joshua, and just the top level competition that he fought, from the Lennox Lewises and all that. I feel like he fought in 2 eras in the heavyweight division and was able to last. Number 8, I'm going to give it to Sugar Ray Leonard. We all know what Sugar Ray was able to do. And you're right, Big Russ. I mean, at the end of the day, it should have been a draw with the Hagler fight, especially when, he would get his ass whooped for 2.5 minutes. And then the last 30 seconds, he flurries. You know what I mean? So he did it. Yeah, shoot shot. And he stole that one. But it is what it is. And then number 7, my boy, he's the new golden boy, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Yes, I appreciate everything that man has been able to do. He's only had 1 draw, 1 defeat that has came from the GOAT of boxing. But yeah, number 7, I got Canelo Alvarez. Number 6.
Oh, fuck, that's funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 7, absolutely. Bro, Canelo, he's doing it, bro. He's doing it.
So his
all
career
time.
right now is better than Manny's.
No. Can I finish my list?
Continue. I'm
all
sorry.
Right. So number 7 is Canelo Alvarez. Number 6, I do have Joe Louis. He's the people's champ. I feel like Ali took what Joe Louis did and personified it more. But Joe Louis, definitely, I got Joe Louis in number 6. Number 5, I do have Manny Pacquiao. I appreciate Manny Pacquiao, the weight classes and everything that he's went through. Even though there were speculations about his steroid use, guess what? At the end of the day, Manny Pacquiao still got it done, and he never tested positive for anything. No matter how big, you know what I'm saying? No matter how big he got, and Manny always fought the best. Manny never shied away from fighting the best. He always fought the best within his weight class. Number 4, here's the thing, it's going to sound like a broken record because me and Russ's is pretty much the same. Number 4, Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker. He was Floyd before Floyd. You know what I mean? The whole, you know what I'm saying, having the shell up, you know, a la James Toney as well with the shell defense, but Pernell Whitaker as well with being able to drop his hands, use head movement to dodge punches. Number 3, Sugar Ray Robinson. The man had 168 fights, 170 fights. And like you said, Mr. Jones, in the era that he came up in, he pretty much had to knock everybody out because if it went to the cards, we all knew what was going to happen. They were going to screw him out of it. So he had to fight racism. He had to fight a lot. Number 2, obviously the greatest, one of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? Taking on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Doing that. And then number 1 will be Floyd Mayweather. What he did for the sport of boxing was truly amazing. From the business aspect, from the business aspect to being Mr. HBO and then making that transition into being Mr. Showtime.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Here's my top 10 list of all time. Number 10, due to historical history and him actually being the first black heavyweight champ and the era he defended it in, number 10 would be Jack Johnson for me. He did it his way. Okay. Number 9 will actually be...
And he had plenty, and I'm gonna tell you right now, sorry, VZ, but I'm gonna tell you right now, there was 2 things that Jack Johnson loved back in the day. It was being heavyweight champion and white women. And he wasn't going to let none of them KKK leaders stop him being with them white women. So you got to give him credit for that.
Jack Johnson.
In some aspect, I kind of respect it.
Number 9, I actually got Manny Pacquiao because his career, where he came from, he lied about his age to even debut in pro boxing. He started like as a 16, 17-year-older, coming from nothing and making the career the way he made, and his philanthropy and everything outside of the ring. I think Manny deserves that at number 9. Number 8. I know people probably gonna kill me because it's low, but number 8 to me will actually be Pernell Whitaker.
Okay.
Number 8 is Pernell Whitaker. Number 7 was going to be Marvin Hagler because the era he fought in and who he beat. And I'm with y'all that Ray Leonard fight, he should have lost that fight. I think that's why he left the game too.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly why he left boxing after that. Because it was something fishy about that decision. But I mean, what he did to Hearns alone, I think, deserved to be on that list. Because if Hearns would have won that fight, Hearns would have took that spot.
Man, that was a best 4 rounds. Yeah. 4 rounds.
Yeah, Hearns is my honorable mention. Number 6, I actually give it to Sugar Ray Leonard, just because I mean, as a kid from the DMV, and you're a boxing fan, it just goes hand in hand. Okay. He is DMV boxing.
Of course, Sugar Ray Leonard boxing gym, Palmer Park, Maryland.
The first fight I ever seen live was in Sugar Ray gym in Palmer Park, Maryland. So,
yep, that's it. Palmer Park. Talk about it.
Yeah, my godmother was a judge. Shout out to her. And yeah, I used to watch a lot of amateur fights at Palmer Park. So
that gym brings back a lot of memories.
She used to fix a lot of them fights too. I remember too. Your godmother. They used to pay her to fix a lot of them fights. So go ahead.
She did. She actually went to Atlanta to judge fights too. She actually did the Olympics.
I know.
Number 5, the Brown Bomber, man, Joe Louis. Like Big Russ said, man, killing Nazis in that day. And back in that day, I respect the fighters more because almost as a black boxer, you had to win by knockout.
Mhm.
Yep.
Fights you had to, it couldn't go to the card. You had to win by knockout. And then the Joe Louis era, it's like when you got knocked down, they didn't give you a standing 8 count or anything. They on
Nope.
your ass. As soon as you back on your feet, they went right at you. So for him
Yep.
to in that era, I give him his credit. That's why Rocky Marciano ain't on that's because he beat him when he was old as fuck. Now, number 4, I really dug in the crates for this, and this is one of the first fighters my grandfather ever talked to me about when I was growing up being a boxing fan, and that's Willie Pep. And the reason I chose Willie Pep is it wouldn't be no Pernell Whitaker, it wouldn't be no Floyd Mayweather, it wouldn't be no James Toney, it wouldn't be no defensive fighter if it wasn't for him. He is pretty much the greatest defensive fighter of all time. The only guy who won around without throwing a punch. That will never happen again. He won around without throwing a punch, and he's one of the godfathers and inventors of the double jab. He's one of the first people to ever throw the double jab. He made that a thing of boxing. Greatest lightweight of all time by far. Number 3, it's going to be the greatest, Muhammad Ali. I mean, he fought in arguably the greatest era in heavyweight history.
Yep.
I mean, other than probably 30s and 40s with Jack Dempsey and Floyd Patterson and them, this was the greatest era in history. You had your George Foremans, you had your Joe Frazier's, you had your Larry Holmes later on. The 70s and the 80s were killers. I mean, it really got
you had your Sonny Liston. You had your Sonny Listons. Let's not forget about him.
Yeah, Sonny Liston was one of the hardest punches ever. Yeah. But I thought, Liston was more, pre that. But because when he did fight Ali, he was getting later in his career. He wasn't no sprint.
We're not going to hold on. Yeah, but we're not going to discredit Ali, okay? Because Ali was supposed to take a dive fight, but he decided
I got the post on my wall, man. The anchor punch. The anchor punch. I got that post on my wall. So, number 2. I mean, in our generation, he's the greatest. He's arguably the best defensive fighter of all time. If he ain't number 1, it's kind of crazy. And honestly, it wouldn't be boxing the way it is today. And I gotta agree with Mr. Fleming on this point. The guy did do this. He did kill HBO single-handedly. It made Showtime a boxing premier boxing. And that
Yep,
that'd
be
money. That'd be money. When he took the pretty boy off his name, became money. He became the greatest.
Yep,
and he lived up to both. He lived up to both nicknames too.
The only man I ever seen in a fight could literally talk to commentators while boxing. I'd never forget when he picked the Eagles in the Super Bowl. While he's defending himself and jabbing this man. They asked this man who gonna win the Super Bowl. He jabs and looked back, say Patriots, so you can hear him on the mic. That's crazy. In the middle of a fight. Championship fight. You'll never see no shit like that again. Gotta get the man his flowers. I mean, like almost every fight he had was world champions.
Yep.
Yeah. They were. I mean, from the Zab Judas, from the Casa Mayorga, you know what I'm saying? Like Floyd fought everybody. And like that's a Castillo, like that's another thing Winky too, Wright. With like pissing off about people. Yeah, Winky Wright is Floyd back then. Yeah, y'all gotta remember when Floyd was Pretty Boy Floyd, he in his own definition would tell you he was more of a, I'm not going to say a slave, but he was more of he was a worker. He was doing what he was told. So he was fighting 3 people a year and still coming out there giving his best, fight in and fight out. He was fighting 3 times a year. And then once he got control and he was able to control the narrative, all right, I'll fight once this year. All right, I'll fight twice this year. That's how I'm going to do it, which I'm okay with.
Yeah. I think him and Ali might be the only 2 gold medalists on this list as well.
Didn't Ray Leonard?
Yeah. I thought Ray Leonard did too.
Yeah, Ray might want to gold medal. Ray might want to gold medal. As much as we got screwed over the years in boxing for the gold medal.
And I think Sweet Pea may have too. He may have, I believe.
Hold on. I'll double check for y'all.
Well, it probably been so. I think it's he ain't winning no damn South Korea.
It had to be like 88. Might have been 88, 84, something like that.
Oh, only thing you remember 88 is Rory Jones.
Oh yeah.
Biggest robbery in boxing history, right there. But while you looking at that, let me just give everybody number one: Sugar Ray Robinson, hands down. The era he fought in, the dude fought to stay in shape.
Nah, he was a silver medalist. Yeah.
Who, Sweet Pea?
Yeah, he was a silver medalist. Yeah, Sweet Pea was a silver medalist. But hold on, no. In 82 was a silver, but in the Pan American Games in the 1984 Olympics, he was a gold medalist. He was.
It's Pan American.
So in 84, he was a gold medalist. Yep.
Okay. So in LA, because 84 is LA.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So you got Sugar Ray Robinson at number one. Wow.
Yes, easy. It's not even close. Power both of his hands, can defend himself. I mean, the era he fought in, knocked everybody out. The dude literally fought to be in shape. He fought every 2 or 3 weeks to stay in shape.
He did.
It beat everybody.
That's right.
A different continent. He had to fight racism more than America. He fought in different continents and knocked niggas out. Like Sugar Ray Robinson is number one.
Yeah, the top three.
I mean, here's the thing too. Yeah, they interchangeable.
So I'm like,
but at the end, go ahead, Vanessa.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, hon. So I'm listening, and to be honest with you guys, I don't know boxing as well as you guys do. I know big names, I know big fights, but the history of it, I personally don't know. One thing that I have noticed between you guys, hi son, is none of y'all mentioned Mike Tyson. Now, what's your guys' opinion on Mike Tyson?
He's barely a top 10 heavyweight.
Go ahead, Russ. I was about to say that. Go ahead, Russ. Talk to her. Let her know why Mike Tyson was not mentioned.
Mike Tyson, to me, doesn't get mentioned because he lost by one of the biggest upset in boxing history. Number one, number two, and that was a bad loss, very bad loss.
They shouldn't even went that far. Tyson knocked him out.
Exactly, and then arguably, he hasn't been the same since he fought Razor Ruddock. Well, Buster Douglas changed him. Razor Ruddock really changed him. Really changed him.
Yep.
And he beat an older Larry Holmes. He has an extensive resume. He's beaten the older Larry Holmes, but Mike Tyson, he's not even, to me, just like Sam said, he's not a top 10 heavyweight. Barely.
Sir.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just say this as well, because he's commented twice about this. Why no Roberto Duran? I'm sorry, sir. When you say no Moss and you quit in a fight, I can't put you in my top 10. Top 20, maybe.
No,
top 10, no.
You quit. He lost to about 3 or 4 guys on my list.
There's no way.
Yeah, he lost to about 3 to 4 guys between our lists. So no Roberto Duran in the top 10 boxers of all time. I'm sorry.
Did you see the way he got knocked out by Tommy Hearns? Starched him. It took him 35 seconds to fall. He got hit. He got hit and was like this.
He did the Ric Flair.
That was a literal someone in the crowd yelling "Timber down" as he falls. Oh my god.
You look like a Panamanian. You look like a Panamanian coconut tree getting chopped down. Just
I tell you, that's where you get your computer shut down.
Glitch. That's what he looked like. He looked like a glitch.
That's crazy.
Shit, that's funny.
Yeah, but like I said, at the end of the day, the reason why Mike Tyson is not in there, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Mike Tyson, when it's come to like top level competition, yes, he came out. He was a knockout artist, but after Cus D'Amato died, Mike Tyson changed. His boxing style changed. And he didn't measure up against greats like Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, etc. And because of that, that's why I can't have them there. I get it. Like,
I think if he ain't go to jail and he fought Evander when he was supposed to fight him back in what was it, 92, 93, I think Tyson would have beat Evander in 93.
But I will say this, man. A lot of guys duck Mike Tyson. Like Lennox Lewis, Lennox Lewis gets no points for beating Mike Tyson when he fought him because he took more money. Well, he turned down more money to walk away from a Mike Tyson fight in 96, I believe, 95, 96, after Tyson got out of jail. So Lennox Lewis, he gets no cool points. Like he gets no cool points for beating Mike Tyson when he did. Evander Holyfield, that fight should have happened after the Buster Douglas. It should have happened in 90 or 91.
You think it should have happened in 91 when Holyfield was still a cruiserweight?
No, he wasn't a cruiserweight then. He was a heavyweight then.
Okay.
But they were setting up before he got knocked out by Buster Douglas. They were setting up an Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, that was Tyson the mega fight. They already called it a mega fight.
Yeah, and then the Razor Ruddock thing. And then just to make a quick correction, Mike Tyson never fought Riddick Bowe.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
They were about
to the belt of the trash. That's what this punk ass did.
Gotcha.
But Mike Tyson, I agree with you, Mike. Like Mike Tyson, he didn't really when it came to like the top level guys, man, he didn't show up. He didn't show up against Holyfield. He knocked out Razor Ruddock. He knocked out Razor Ruddock the second time, but the first time that was a close. He won by unanimous decision, but it was close. They were giving it to each other. Both of them weren't the same after that. So, Mike Tyson, didn't show up.
And here's what I want to say, Mr. Jones. I get what you said about jail and everything, but here's the thing: a guy who's in our top three. Hello, Muhammad Ali went to jail, lost his prime years. He still came out and was able to win the heavyweight title. Yes,
there though. Like by the time he came out, the heavyweight division started to become trash a little bit.
Who?
When Tyson got out of jail.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You still had Frazier in them in their prime. Foreman was up there. He didn't have that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I can't put him in the top 10.
Top notch.
And that's why I can't put him in the top 10 because he should have been able to come out and dominate versus Ali, who came out. He missed a lot of his prime years. Like what people don't realize that
he just had to fight bums, unfortunately.
Yeah. But the thing is, like with Ali, you all can go back and check the tapes. When Ali fought before he went to jail, Ali was untouchable in that ring, man. You were barely touching Ali.
Yeah.
He was a heavyweight. It was freakish.
Yep.
His speed was freakish.
All right.
It's just really like I said, I don't know that much about it. It's interesting.
Yeah. Big Sam asks. Yeah, Big Sam asks, why isn't Julio Chavez over Shane? Julio Cesar Chavez.
Julio Cesar Chavez, is he a workhorse? Is he one of the top workhorses in boxing history?
Yes.
But them decisions that he got, some of those decisions in the 90s were questionable. Meldrick Taylor getting knocked out at the last second when they were both beating each other up for 12 rounds. Come on, man. Like Julio Cesar Chavez, his first loss should have been to Meldrick Taylor. Pernell Whitaker got screwed. Meldrick Taylor got screwed.
I started losing respect when he literally started fighting for coke money. When he literally started fighting for coke money, that's why I lost respect for my man.
Sugar Booger Chavez. Chavez.
But you know what? At least he ain't a fucking disgrace like his son. His son is a disgrace.
Oh yeah,
his career. He quit twice in his career.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But
Durant took a lot of the L's, and then Mike not being able to beat Evander after biting off of his ear. The fact that he wasn't able to beat Evander. Okay.
Yeah, but Evander always been a dirty head button motherfucker though.
He has.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you have to bite off his ears like
Leave
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Like-
Did you have to bite off the man's ear? That's just
No, he could have hit him in the nuts. He could have hit him in the nuts. Is what he could have
Man,
done.
you know Brooklyn
Exactly.
dudes. You know Brooklyn dudes are crazy, man. You know Brooklyn dudes don't think, man.
His rage, dog. He was his rage. He was holding each other by the head.
I remember watching that fight, sitting on my grandma's bed. I remember
watching
watching
that live too, over my pop's house while he was jumping around.
But I will say one honorable mention, man. Bernard Hopkins, he deserves an honorable mention. Because he's the first fighter to come out of Philly and not have that traditional. He can turn on the Philly style and turn it off.
Yep.
I think he was the most versatile fighter to come out of Philly. Because you know how those Philly guys, they just like to brawl. He could brawl when he needed to, but he can also outbox you. And he has probably one of the best boxing IQs of all time. So Bernard Hopkins, he gets an honorable mention.
No,
Just
He's
didn't
the
like
best
when he
to come out of Philly.
here's
Huh?
number two.
Best out of
Here's
Philly
another
ever.
thing too. Big Sam. Hey, look, y'all. Big Sam, our boxing guru. He said no Roy Jones. Here's the thing. I started to put Roy Jones there, but I'm going to be honest with you. When Roy Jones went up against top level competition, we saw what happened. Okay, Glenn Johnson knocked the man out. Antonio Tarver beat him twice.
But you
No
guys,
Roy
he
Jones.
embarrassed Bernard. He embarrassed Bernard in his early days.
But what about the nobodies
He did.
that Roy Jones got knocked out?
Oh yeah,
by?
he fought firemen. He fought policemen. I mean, he fought all the civil workers, trashmen.
Y'all
He
must have
fought
forgot. Y'all must
Metro
have
bus
forgot.
drivers. He fought all the civil workers.
Yeah, Pensacola in the house.
Exactly.
But I mean, my reason for
Yeah.
not putting Roy Jones in there, he got towards the end of his career, he got knocked out by guys we never heard of.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing going to Russia
with
by
Bernard,
yourself
though.
and fighting and getting knocked out?
Bernard.
Like, what are you doing?
Same with Bernard.
Mhm.
Well, Joe Smith Jr., he ain't no joke. Joe Smith Jr. is no
Yeah.
joke. But the way he got knocked out the ring, it was kind of funny, though. I'm not going to lie. I love Bernard Hopkins, but the way he literally got knocked out of boxing,
Yes.
he got knocked out of boxing. Like, he didn't retire. He got knocked out of boxing. And that was...
Yep.
Yeah.
Flew through the ropes.
Y'all must have forgot. Okay.
My man Bernard Hopkins flew out of the camera shot. Like, he
Let me tell you something.
he got knocked out. He got knocked into the abyss.
Oh, he chose a Nike. He chose a Nike. That shit was
Exactly. Here's the thing, man. At the end of the day,
They couldn't even hit the
here's the
announcer's
thing. I
table.
appreciate Roy Jones. So here's what happened with Roy. While Floyd was going through what he was going through, I feel like Roy Jones brought a lot of the flashiness and everything to boxing again. You know what I'm saying? Especially like after Muhammad Ali retired. I felt like Roy Jones did. The commercials, you know what I'm saying, the wearing the Jordans, the being, you know what I'm saying, in commercials, things like that. So like he brought a lot of that flashiness there, especially for the black community.
But you got
But
to
then
give
Floyd just
credit for the Ruiz thing too. When he went up all the weight classes and
course.
became heavyweight champion.
Yeah, no, I get it. No. Like
He
him
beat the
moving up, him
heavyweight
beating
champion
the
as a middleweight, pretty much. That's
Exactly.
incredible.
That's why I have. So Roy, he's in my top probably 15, but I can't put him in my top 10. I just can't.
Me either.
I
And-
can't.
And another thing too, now I'm surprised nobody mentioned Joe Calzaghe because Joe Calzaghe beat both Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins.
He did. You're right.
I'm surprised nobody mentioned him.
That's
I
because
can't
he ain't
put him
had
in.
enough fights in the States. He ain't getting on in the States till later.
Yeah,
Mm.
but
That's the
I
only
can't-
reason why he ain't get that much exposure in the States.
yeah,
Because that was the case, Nigel Benn should be up there.
yeah. But Roy Jones, he doesn't crack my top 10, probably not even my top 15, because of what I've seen happen to him later in his career. Like he wasn't just knocked out; they had to get the smelling salts to wake him up. He been put to sleep by guys we've never heard of.
That Glenn Johnson
Yeah.
was terrible. Hit him right in the temple too.
His head bounced off
Yeah.
the canvas from that one.
Exactly.
Tauber one did too.
Yeah.
That was like back to back.
And
Yep. It was.
I'm just waiting for somebody to mention Andre Ward so I can, pick that argument apart. But
Nah. No. I'll mention Terrence Crawford before I mention Andre Ward.
Andre Ward
But yeah.
fought like every 2 years.
Yeah. Nah, man. But here's what we're gonna do, man. First of all, we appreciate you joining us, my good sir. We really do. But we're gonna let you know what I'm saying, Vanessa and no problem, bro. We appreciate you. And guess what? Go Ducks. We're gonna talk about next week. All right.
Real quick,
you on here Sunday. You already be here.
Oh yeah,
Big Russ.
Yeah.
We got winning the Rumble, Big Russ. Royal Rumble. We got winning.
For the men's, I'm probably going to say either Daniel Bryan, or I wouldn't be surprised if Brock comes back. The women's Royal Rumble, either Shayna Baszler or Alexa Bliss.
Brock and Becky Lynch.
Oh, the artist last
these literally sound like all porno star names. But again, I understand.
Brock Lesnar is a porn. I want to watch a TV with a nigga named Brock Lesnar.
I didn't say that, but y'all talking about Becky Lynch and Hana this and that. That was a porn name, sir. That was a porn name. I guarantee you, if I went to X videos right now and typed them in, I could find something.
You probably find a chick named Alexa Bliss. I'm probably
yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm about to go to it right now and tell you.
Lord.
They gonna show you all China.
This is just for research purposes. This is all it is.
All China. You gonna see all China.
Alexa.
You see one night China.
Listen, Alexa Bliss. 3,200 video. Apparently, she used to be a porn star. She has a video.
It be curves on there just showing little shots of her in the ring or something. You know how they be doing the little fan videos, fake joints.
Sir, is this her? Yes or no? Is this her? Is this her? Is it her?
That's the chick for Flavor of
exactly.
Love. That's Pumpkin for Flavor of Love. That is Pumpkin for Flavor of Love.
It looks like it to me.
Exactly. She's on there.
Stay her. We not spread the blast. I want to interview her one day. I love you, Alexa.
I'm just saying. Big Russ, I'll send you the video if you need me to. I'll send you the video. Okay.
No. Get me in trouble, man.
Wife is rocking this, man.
Okay. I
give me bust in the back with a steel chair, man.
All right. That's fine. Big Russ, I didn't say anything. I'll see you later, sir. I'm good. I'll see you later. All right.
I've been waiting all day for this shit. We got time.
Hi, son. Oh my god.
I've been wanting to say this for 2 hours. Fuck baseball.
Oh, I knew that was gonna come. Motherfucker.
Oh, wait, fuck baseball.
Oh my god.
I'm ready.
Yeah, man. MLB Hall of Fame.
For the first time in 61 years, not one single person went to the Hall of Fame. Not one.
Mm-hmm.
That
my first question before I explode, this is my first question. These people are in the Hall of Fame. Why is Buzz Selig in there?
I don't know. Tell me.
I don't know.
The commissioner of the so-called steroid era, with most of these people played in.
Oh, and I
gotta oversee the damn thing and profited from it. Is in the Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen.
I hate Bud Selig. I hate Bud Selig with the white hot intensity of 1,000 suns. I hate that man. Like
the strike in '94, he canceled the World Series. If I'm a Montreal if I live in the city of Montreal, I might have shot him.
Oh my god!
They don't even have a team
literally,
anymore.
the strike of '90. Yep, exactly. The strike of '94 was saved by one man, and that man was Cal Ripken Jr.
Yep.
He single-handedly saved the game of baseball in '94. Bud Selig,
Oh, let's talk about
I just
his decision when it was his decision instead of to keep playing in the All Star game, let it be a tie.
oh, that's bullshit. The
And
fact
how
that
you
he
want to close the All
initiated
Star game? Let's play it for home field advantage. So let's make the All Star game
exactly
boring as fuck now. But
that
he's in the
is
Hall of Fame though.
bullshit.
But he's in the Hall of
No,
Fame.
and that's one thing about the Hall of Fame that I truly don't understand. As a fan of baseball, I truly do not understand that as a player, you get 9 years to not 10 chances to be voted in by the Writers Association. And then after that, you are voted in to the Hall of Fame by past players. So looking at this past year, Kurt Schilling had what, 71%? He was 16 votes shy of being voted into the Hall of Fame. The man's not going to get in by the Writers Association. He's not going to get in because Kurt Schilling is too controversial. He, this last January, on January 6th, no, I can't hear you, man.
Yeah, he's a douche. But it always is it's about what you do on the field. If that was the case, we
Yeah,
wouldn't have an MLB Hall of Fame. Half of the people on there were cheaters, influenced by the mob, and racists.
yeah, that's very true. But people, and like that, and that's the thing. That's what's making this vote too political. Kurt Schilling is an amazing baseball player. Look at what he did for Arizona. 4 years
But like I told
after
you,
their expansion.
the bloody sock is in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
The
Look at
man
what
is
he
not
did
in
for
there.
Boston. That's
That's what
exactly
I'm saying.
it.
The sock is in the Hall of Fame. Why not the man in there?
No, and that's something that like I said, I truly don't understand. With that, the Writers Association is making this way too political. You know what, Kurt Schilling, he gets off of his rocker. Mentally, he is insane. Going back to the beginning of the month with the insurrection of the Capitol, he came out on social media and was approving of it. Personally, I do not agree with that. You know what I mean? Personally, I do not agree with the man for saying that insurrection needed to happen and people got hurt, people died. That was a horrendous attack that we will have to learn, our kids will learn about in history books. I do not agree with the man on that aspect of it. But as a baseball player, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but let's just put context to it. Let me just go down the candidates and what they did. You can help me with this. First of all, we just talked about Chris Schiller and what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was a great closer before, and he literally worked his way up as a closer relief to a starter. And once he became a starter, he never looked back. You got to remember the 2001 Arizona Diamondback team when it was him and Randy Johnson. That was pretty much
That was
two of the
the
best aces ever.
That was the impeccable 1-2 punch that
Yeah,
we here in
and then you got to
Arizona.
remember the bloody
Hey,
sock.
can I
broke
say
the
something?
The bloody
broke-
sock.
Can I just say something real quick? I
Yeah.
appreciate all the people who have been continuously rocking with us, the people who've been watching the show. We are going to be just fine once football season ends because clearly we have something that are keeping the people entertained. So I thank you all for being on, for watching. I appreciate everyone. I really do. But back to this baseball shit.
Yeah, and then let me just tell you how many years you got. 10 years. If you ain't in the 10, you're gone. So this Schilling, it's his ninth year. Also, Barry Bonds is his ninth year. Number one all time in home runs. Number one in intentional walks. Let me tell you how great of a hitter Barry Bonds was. He got walked in a playoff game with the bases loaded before.
Yep, because they didn't want him to hit a home run. You know,
Most home runs in the season. Four-time MLB MVP.
Yeah.
But this man is not in the Hall of Fame because he don't talk to media correctly. Pretty
That's
much.
true. And that's the other thing though. That, and like again, that's the absolute shit aspect of any sports is you have to have this persona of being approachable at any time of the day. When you're on a date night at a movie theater, you're on a date night with your wife at dinner, you are expected to be approachable by some random ass guy coming in with his kid. Can you sign this for my kid? Like, no. I'm sorry. I get starstruck with baseball players. I've met 2 Hall of Famers in my lifetime, and I cried each time. They weren't Hall of Famers at the time, but I cried legit tears when I met Trevor Hoffman and Mike Piazza. I was that fortunate to meet them. I have their signatures. They are now Hall of Famers, and that just blows my mind. I met Mike Piazza. Okay, sorry.
Of all time. He's a top 3.
Top
no,
3
he's
closers.
number 2. Top number 2.
Oh,
He right behind Mario.
Yeah, Trevor Hoffman is number 2. No one will ever beat Mariano Rivera. No one.
Yeah.
But that's
so number
3.
Huh? Go ahead.
Number 3. Oof.
Roger Clemens. Either he was.
I don't know. I kind of liked him better as a starter.
The Astros or the Yankees. He dominated as a pitcher. I believe he have about 300 career wins. I think he got the 300 career wins. Roger Clemens do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You mean the Yankees wasn't his daddy?
Between the Yankees, the Astros,
you mean
the
the Yankees wasn't his daddy? You mean the Yankees wasn't his daddy?
No, Pedro. Nah, Roger Clemens, man. I mean, look, he should definitely be in there for what he did in the 80s alone. Mm-hmm. All right, next. One of the, I guess, best glove shortstops of all time, especially in the 90s, Omar Vizquel. He's not in as well.
No, another
right. one, I mean, one of the best switch hitter batters of all time, Gary Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield. Yeah, he definitely should have been in there, especially his stint with the Yankees.
How his timing was amazing with the bat swing. You could count. He would swing his bat at least 4 times before the ball got to him, and he would hit it every single time. It was great. But no, you're absolutely right. He is one of the best hitters to play the game. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And then one more I got a huge complaint with is Manny. Manny Ramirez should be in there. Now I know he got popped before. He did get popped.
The thing.
He served his time. But you can't say he's not one of the best hitters. He can hit it from anywhere, from any angle. Mm-hmm. If it's low in the knees,
who's coming up next year? Who's coming up in the class next year? Next year is A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, A-Rod, Shane Victorino. I think people like Nick Swisher
needs to be in
next year.
But
the thing is,
okay, so.
Huh?
Oh no! What I was saying is, next year, when A-Rod becomes available, that's going to be the true
A-Rod ain't getting
deciding factor of it. Because Alex Rodriguez, he got popped for PEDs too, and he was suspended for an entire year. So my thing is waiting for next year patiently.
He was hated.
Is if he gets
he was
in.
Second hated to Barry. He's second hated to Barry. He ain't getting there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
If they continue to let the writers do this shit, they ain't getting there. It should be former players. It should be fellow Hall of Famers to do it.
That's the other thing. So I was reading article. I was reading an article about Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling is requesting to be opted out of his 10th year to be voted in. That way, he can be voted in by past players.
Exactly.
The bigger bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Curt Schilling should be over Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens.
No,
to be honest with you. For him to get 71 and for Barry Bonds to only get 61% is a crime.
Mm-hmm.
And Barry Bonds actually
not
went
getting at all
down.
in his 9th year is a crime. Barry Bonds is a first ballot Hall of Famer before he even went to the Giants.
See, and that's the numbers are so strange.
Like, this is crazy. Because pretty much Manny ain't gonna get in. 28%. Manny ain't getting in.
No,
Manny's not gonna get in. That's already done. Sammy Sosa, I don't think he was a Hall of Famer anyway.
No, the only thing that truly defines Sammy Sosa, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the race in '99.
Was him bleaching his skin? That's what defines.
That's again another part of it too. But the race again with Mark McGwire in '99, that is what made Sammy Sosa a name.
Motherfucker looked like an extra on Twilight, but
You funny as shit. Oh man, the lightest Dominican in the world. I've never seen a
Yep.
Dominican that light.
Never.
Oh, you know who else is on the ballot for next year? David Ortiz.
Yeah.
He's gonna get in.
If Manny ain't in there, Poppy ain't getting it. Well, nah, they like Poppy. They like Poppy. Poppy's
That's
Poppy.
exactly it. And not only that, look
Manny
at
in
what
the
happened to
MLB
him a few
network.
years ago. A few years ago
Oh,
when
when he
he
got
went
shot?
back to the Dominican when he got shot.
He got shot?
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. He's gonna
Yeah.
David Ortiz is gonna get voted in because after that attack at the Boston Marathon, and he came out and was like, you know what, screw everyone else. We know who we are. You know, Boston strong
Mhm.
sort of stuff. He rallied the city around the team and everything.
Yep.
He's going to get voted in because he is the big name of
Mhm.
Boston organization in most recent
But
years.
to make this even worse, though, bad like the Kurt Schiller's, Barry Bonds, or Roger Clemens not getting in, it's literally holding votes back for some other people too.
Of
I
course it
believe.
is.
'Cause I believe if them three wasn't on the ballot, Omar Vizquel will probably be in this year. He should have been in. I mean,
Yep.
it's his fourth year, but I think he should have been in.
See, and that's the other thing that I just don't understand about the Writers Association. Look at a few years ago. It was Edgar Martinez's last year. It was his 10th year. One of the best designated hitters in the entire league, playing for the Seattle Mariners, and he got in on his 10th year. He didn't think he was going to get in until he got the call. I
Mhm.
I've always been a fan of Edgar Martinez. Like I said, he is one of the best bats that has ever come out of Seattle. He should have been in at least fifth round, at least his fifth
Mhm.
year, and he did not
Mhm.
get voted in until his 10th.
Yeah. But A-Rod don't care about getting in. He got J-Lo right now.
That's a good point.
Even though she's on her eighth and ninth engagement, at the end of the day, he has J-Lo. Okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
You are not wrong on that
yeah.
aspect.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't mind being her eighth or ninth engagement. I don't care.
No, I
My
get
thing
that.
is, my thing is like, why is like integrity, like why is integrity and like media presence a factor? Why has it became so important all of a sudden? In Hall of Fame in general, not even just baseball, all sports.
In any
Like
sport.
T.O. ain't get it because the media ain't like him. And we
Yeah.
know he was a slam dunk first ballot if we ever seen one in history.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Well, look
Like
at
why is
Marshawn Lynch. During any sort of media day that he ever had, they made him out to be the bad guy because he just didn't want to talk to the media. Can you
Yeah.
blame the guy? I
Exactly.
don't.
Same way. But here's the funny thing. The media always does that same thing they try to do with Goat Irving. Again, we won't go into detail because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to start an argument. But same thing they did with Kyrie when he didn't want to talk to the media, or KD.
That's exactly
The
it.
media is full of shit.
That's
But
exactly
yeah, man.
it. And
At
it's
the end of the
like that
day,
in every aspect.
mm-hmm. At the end of the day, man, baseball they full of shit. Let's just call them out on their bullshit. They're
it's
full of
like
shit.
you finally, yeah, I mean, you finally did something with the Negro Leagues, and then you go right back to this shit. It's like they just don't know how to stay popular within the mainstream audience. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the same thing
No,
that helped
that's
you
exactly
get to
it.
probably the highest peak ever is the same thing you're gonna
Yep.
penalize the players for, but not the fucking commissioner of it
That's
Yep.
all.
exactly it. Well, did you guys see what the commissioner tried to pass? And it was vetoed by the Players Association.
No.
Commissioner Manfred
Mm-hmm.
wants an entire league designated hitter. American League,
Mm.
National League. It was vetoed by the Players Association. So no DH in the National League, which is great. I think that's perfect. Why change it? It doesn't make sense. But then he also initiated the 2-minute rule in between innings. He
Yeah.
initiated the 2-minute rule. What else has he done? I will give Manfred one thing. And the fact that he is so supportive of Little League. That's one thing. Where he
Mm-hmm.
signed Ken Griffey Jr. to be the spokesperson between the MLB and the Little League.
Mhm.
That's one thing that I will give this man. One thing. That is it.
Cheetahs in Little League too.
It is. Remember that little Spanish dude who said he was 17 but really was 34 years
Almonte.
old? I forgot
I'll
his
never
name.
forget.
Danny
That kid was
Almonte in New
dominating.
York. That is true.
That motherfucker was 35 years old. Motherfucker he was on his way to AARP and all of that shit. That
And he had a
motherfucker
goatee and everything.
he had a goatee, a
Slinging that rock.
401k. Let me tell you something. He had a goatee, a 401k, all of that shit. Okay.
Well, even
But nah,
going
man.
back, no, as much as I love watching the Little League World Series. I love seeing kids play. I love being able to see the raw talent that these 10, 11, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds have. But even a few years ago, Jackie Robinson in the Little League, they were disqualified because they weren't in the right district.
Mm-hmm.
Or kids weren't living in the right district.
To win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nah, man.
No, and those kids were good. But no, this and now there's a news story that they want all 162 games played, but they want a shortened season like they did last year because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how that would work. You would literally have to play every single day with no off days. I don't see
they're going to have off
starting
days.
later in the year.
It's going to be more double headers.
That's exactly it. It's going to be more double headers.
Which is bullshit too. Wouldn't want to stay at the damn park all day. Too.
Yeah, how much can you drink?
You know they ain't going home between games.
There's no way. And you better come prepared with at least $500 for food and alcohol.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's.
I never see. Yeah, the state of baseball right now. I'm not gonna say it's at an all-time low, but it's not looking good right now.
It's not.
Especially
But at the end,
it really isn't.
Mm-mm.
It isn't. The big story that is bringing baseball again to the forefront are the trades that are happening. Nolan Arenado's finally getting out of Colorado.
Gotcha.
One of the best third basemen in the league is leaving Colorado, going to St. Louis, and I can guarantee it's because he wants to ring. And he knows that Colorado's not going to do it. So that's a big story right now, is that Nolan Arenado is going to the Central Division.
All right. Well,
but that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's all we got for the people today.
Man,
Mr. Jones, you got anything?
Fuck them. That's a goddamn nobody. Got one person. Fuck them.
Okay.
At this point, the WWE Hall of Fame more credible.
All right. Well,
and they got Trump in it. And they got Trump in it.
Well, I'm MT signing off. Nothing wrong with Trump being in the Hall of Fame, but go ahead.
For wrestling, yes, it is. Mr. Jones, aka Sam Jones, the Mr. Come first because you gotta respect me and down below on the flow.
All right, guys, it's V again. Y'all have a good day.
Enjoy your Royal Rumble Sunday.